Hello, and welcome. It's a bright start to a new week, and it's always a pleasure to be here to serve you the best breakfast on television. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV, and I am Nanatufo Boateng. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for choosing us. We are eternally grateful to you. Now, last week we were looking at the economics of indiscipline, monetizing indiscipline, right? We looked at road traffic regulations or road traffic violations in general. Now we're looking at the menace or the phenomenon of Okada riders, commercial motorcycle riders, right? And the government has, as part of its promises while in opposition and during the campaign, promised to regularize the operations of these commercial riders, okay? So there's going to be regulation. And then initially there was an age limit set at 25. We've heard the transport minister announce a revised age limit of 21. Now here's the catch, okay? In places like Uganda and Kenya, where they've legalized the operations of commercial motorcycle riders, they are dealing with if I can put it this way, they're dealing with a backlash, okay? There's a challenge regarding increased accidents caused by these commercial motorcycle riders. And already we know in Ghana the contribution of these motorcycle riders to road accidents and, of course, road traffic violations in the country. So we're looking basically at the technical committee that's been set is looking to legalize Okada in this country, commercial tricycles or motorcycles in this country. But how do we monetize their indiscipline? Because we've seen how they ride in the cities, especially how they jump traffic signals, how they stop and pick people indiscriminately, okay? How are we going to monetize their indiscipline when they engage in such? And so it's important that the technical committee, while rationally looking at legalizing the operations of commercial motorcycle riders, thinks about the other side of the coin, where they can put in regulation to monetize the indiscipline of these riders. Okay, whether we're going to look at it at sports fines like we'll do for normal vehicles, or we find a way in having these people arrested. Now, you notice also that in certain instances, even the policemen, the MTTD officers who stand at traffic intersections, sometimes do not or are unable to stop or arrest these riders. Because here's the thing that happens. When you stop one rider, you see others also massing up. And so there's the danger of being attacked. And so now that we are going to license them and legalize their operations in this country, we should be thinking of ways to address the indiscipline that comes with it and how they most often than not contribute to accidents in the country. So early Monday morning, we're thinking about it, food for thought. Let us figure out how we're going to deal with Okada riders once we finally do the legalization and, of course, the regulation of their operations in the country. I keep saying that people won't stop being indisciplined, and so it's for the system to take advantage of their indiscipline, rake in some internally generated funds, and then let's commit these funds to the development of Mother Ghana. The name is Nanatufo Boateng. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's get straight into the newspapers, and let's look at what the papers are saying this morning. I'll start with the Daily Graphic. Front page says disallowed expenditure. Auditor General recovers 12.7 billion Ghana cedis. Disallowed expenditure. Auditor General recovers 12.7 billion Ghana cedis. Grace Hayford crowned the Mirror Model Mother 2025. Grace Hayford crowned the Mirror Model Mother 2025. Free passport delivery service commences. Free passport delivery service commences. Resolve Ghana-Togo maritime disputes. This is Major General Kutia speaking. Resolve Ghana-Togo maritime disputes. Major General Kutia speaking there. And then when you go to the back page, there's a host of sports stories on the back page of the Daily Graphic. Let me take you to the Chronicle. This morning, the Chronicle says, JM will finish Buankra Port. JM will finish Buankra Port. Professor Jampu assures stakeholders. JM will finish Buankra Port. Professor Jampu assures stakeholders. Africa leaders must pursue evidence-based reforms. This is Salum Diatta speaking there. president of the Harakati in Senegal. He says Africa leaders must pursue evidence-based reforms. And then Wemplex 400 wins award, all on the front page of the Chronicle. Then, of course, you go into the scripture for the day, taken from the book of Philippians chapter number 1, the verse number 6. And it says, and I read, I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Let me take you to the Daily Guide. Front page says, Edubwahin bombshell rattles national security. Edubwahin bombshell rattles national security. Sami Jemfi sprays dollars on Agrada. Sami Jemfi sprays dollars on Agrada. Harakati za Muungano advocates deeper regional trade. Harakati za Muungano advocates deeper regional trade. Men afraid of fertility test. Rachel Hesimate is speaking here. Soko project surpasses targets. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Let's see what the Ghanaian publisher is saying. Macdan defends prime airport land. Macdan defends prime airport land. Buankra project key on government agenda. This is GSA CEO speaking there. Ghana Shippers Authority CEO Professor Ransford Jampo speaking there. Says Buankra project key on government agenda. CDM slams Mahama over COVID levy U-turn. CDM slams Mahama over COVID levy U-turn. Then you have CLA condemns CJ's suspension. CLA condemns CJ's suspension. The News Center. Let's get into the News Center. The News Center says Commonwealth lawyers demand reversal of CJ's suspension. Commonwealth lawyers demand reversal of CJ's suspension. Margins ID Group CEO Moses Baden wins a third Millennium Excellence Award. Baldath Ramkisoon appointed non-executive director of Republic Bank. S&P raises Ghana's rating, propelled by debt restructuring, IMF deal, gold surge. Ghanaians denied US visa in 2024, paid $6.6 million in fees. Wow. Ghanaians denied US visa in 2024, paid $6.6 million in fees. Cedi to resume depreciation in late 2025. That's according to S&P. World Bank applauds Ghana for exceeding Soko project targets. That's it for the News Center. Let's see what the custodian is saying this morning. Money swine. Sami Jemfi sprays dollars on flashy Agrada. Money swine. Sami Jemfi sprays dollars on flashy Agrada. CDM slams Mahama over failure to scrap COVID-19 levy. We're watching your moves on CJ. Commonwealth lawyers caution Mahama. We are watching your moves on CJ. Commonwealth lawyers caution Mahama. Edubwahin's claims must be probed. Edubwahin's claims must be probed. This is Kojua Sante of the CDD Ghana. Says Edubwahin's claims must be probed. All right. Let's get into the Herald newspaper. The Herald newspaper this morning says, in Team Fojo dragged before police CID over 600,000 Ghana cedis contract fraud. In Team Fojo dragged before police CID over 600,000 Ghana cedis contract fraud. Cosmos Energy baits Mahama government with $2 billion. Offer sparks industry controversy amid petroleum agreement extension talks. Cosmos Energy baits Mahama government with $2 billion. Offer sparks industry controversy amid petroleum agreement extension talks. Sami Jemfi's dollar splash on Agrada triggers backlash and political storm. Sami Jemfi's dollar splash on Agrada triggers backlash and political storm. Africa must embrace structural reforms for stronger integration, Harakati leader speaking there. And optometry student at KNUST sells pure water to fund his education. Optometry student at KNUST sells pure water to fund his education. All right. The new publisher. Sami Gyamfi rains dollars on Agrada. Sami Gyamfi rains dollars on Agrada. NDC foot soldiers weep. Sami Gyamfi rains dollars on Agrada. NDC foot soldiers weep. CDM tells Mahama to cancel COVID tax. And Ken Promise wins TGMA Artist of the Year. That's the new publisher. Okay, let's see what the Today newspaper says. PPP demands independent audit into all special operations expenditure of intelligence funds from 2019 to 2024. PPP demands independent audit into all special operations expenditure of intelligence funds from 2019 to 2024. Ghana's credit rating witnesses upgrade from SD to CCC+. Confusion and contradiction, the NPP's protest and the real agenda. And then you have the TGMA story, Ken Promise being crowned Artist of the Year. The Informer, let's look at the Informer. Don't politicize spy chief's allegations, government told. Don't politicize spy chief's allegations, government told. I conceded early to save Ghana, Bawumia reaffirms. I conceded early to save Ghana, Bawumia reaffirms. Crackdown on politicians or forget Galamsey fight, coalition urges. Crackdown on politicians or forget Galamsey fight, coalition urges. S&P warns government over gold purchasing policy. S&P warns government over gold purchasing policy. And then you have driver busted with weed. Driver busted with weed. That's the Informer newspaper. The Daily Gist says blows at CMC over MD's appointment. Blows at CMC over MD's appointment. Sami Gyamfi sprays dollars on Agrada. NDC foot soldiers go mad. Sami Gyamfi sprays dollars on Agrada. NDC foot soldiers go mad. Bawumia preaches unity in MPP. Bawumia preaches unity in MPP. Where is the vice president? That's the question from the Daily Gist. We know that the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, visited the vice president on Mother's Day, and it's reported that she's well, she's in high spirits and will soon be joining us. Okay. The Inquisitor says, finally, TDC returns to MWH after Furiata kidnapped it to finance ministry. Okay. TDC returns to MWH. I suspect this is Ministry of Works and Housing after Furiata kidnapped it to finance ministry. Cosmos to invest $2 billion in Ghana's petroleum sector. Cosmos to invest $2 billion Cosmos to invest $2 billion in Ghana's petroleum sector. Protozoa leads drug abuse awareness at Suhum. Magdan and the airport land resilience amid disputes. And then you have the power of social media and the untold stories by Akogan, all in the Inquisitor newspaper. Let's get some business stories from the Business and Financial Times, which front page says, CD rally cutting foreign debt load. CD rally cutting foreign debt load as gold win for fiscal tightening and post-election stability bolster confidence. CD rally cutting foreign debt load as gold windfall, fiscal tightening and post-election stability bolster confidence. Cosmos Energy pledges $2 billion investment in petroleum sector. Government prioritizes trade standards. Mahama set to launch enhanced TSI operation. Faris Elias Atriki appointed MD of Priority Insurance. Faris Elias Atriki appointed MD of Priority Insurance. And then you have some features in there and some stories on the back page as well. All right, I'm going to take you online quickly and bring you some stories that are making it to our web portals. I'll start with channel1news.com. Channel1news.com says Chief of Staff summons Sami Gyamfi over viral cash gift to Agrada. Chief of Staff summons Sami Gyamfi over viral cash gift to Agrada. On same Sami Gyamfi cash saga, Mary Ada says lifestyle audits of appointees needed. Sami Gyamfi cash saga, lifestyle audits of appointees needed. This is Mary Ada of GII, Ghana Integrity Initiative, Transparency International Ghana, speaking there. Guta calls on traders to reduce prices following CD appreciation, I beg your pardon. Guta calls on traders to reduce prices following CD appreciation. Go beyond optics, demand asset declarations. Mary Ada again speaking to John Dramani Mahama, and she wants the president to go beyond the optics of launching a code of conduct, calling on his appointees to declare their assets. She says go beyond optics and demand asset declarations. Mary Ada to Mahama. When you go to the Volta region, Bali Meduga residents rely on underground water for survival. Volta region, Bali Meduga residents rely on underground water for survival. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Belated Happy Mother's Day to all mothers across the country and beyond. The story says, Mother's Day, your sacrifice builds the nation. Opokwajima to mothers. Like I mentioned earlier, was an event at which event the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Namumu Late, spoke on behalf of the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opokwajima, and she congratulated all mothers and gave some assurances regarding plans for social interventions for mothers by the Mahama administration. There's a story here from that event that says, your sacrifice builds the nation, Opokwajima to mothers. All right. Mahama celebrates mothers, promises bold support for women. Mahama celebrates mothers and promises bold support for women. I am sorry, Sami Gyamfi on cash donation to Nana Agrada. I am sorry, Sami Gyamfi on cash donation to Nana Agrada. Then you have Agalga rubbishes Edubwa Hens 960,000 Ghana Cedis Defense Committee bribe allegation. Agalga rubbishes Edubwa Hens 960,000 Ghana Cedis Defense Committee bribe allegation. King Promise wins Artist of the Year at 26th Telecel Ghana Music Awards. King Promise wins Artist of the Year at the 26th Telecel Ghana Music Awards. Congratulations to him and all other winners alike. Beautiful ceremony, beautiful location, beautiful event. Congratulations to the organizers and, of course, to all the winners of the night and all Ghanaian artists out there. All right, now when you go to Ablekuma North, the NPP says we won't accept a rerun. We won't accept a rerun. NPP insists. Now, same Ablekuma North, EC failed to respond to our letters on scanned pink sheets. This is the NDC speaking. EC failed to respond to our letters on scanned pink sheets. Still staying in Ablekuma North, just 3 polling stations pending, not 63. This is the NPP speaking there. Now, let me take you to citynewsroom.com. citynewsroom.com. Chief of Staff summons Sami Gyamfi over cash gift to Agrada. Chief of Staff summons Sami Gyamfi over cash gift to Agrada. Then you have CD appreciation. Reduce prices to benefit consumers. Guta to traders. Cedi appreciation, reduce prices to benefit consumers. Guta to traders. Slum expansion fueling urban fire risk. This is the Ghana National Fire Service speaking. The head of PR of the Ghana National Fire Service spoke to us, and he expressed worry over the growing or the increasing nature of slums in the country. And he says that because these areas are not planned, haphazard development, no proper safety measures, it is contributing to urban fire risk. And so the local assemblies should take note and take heed and step in to intervene as soon as possible. All right. Act on Sami Jemfi's cash gift to Agrada, Mariada tells Mahama. Act on Sami Jemfi's cash gift to Agrada, Mariada tells Mahama. Frustration deepens over deteriorating Pantai Abokobi Road. Frustration deepens over deteriorating Pantai Abokobi Road. BOG warns public against illegal foreign investment scams. BOG warns public against illegal foreign investment scams. Allocate budget before projects begin. Parliament's Education Committee to government. Allocate budget before projects begin. Parliament's Education Committee to government. Asaman Tamfoy chiefs threaten legal action against illegal miner, call for government intervention. In Asaman Tamfoy, in the eastern region, the chiefs there are threatening legal action against an illegal miner and are calling for government intervention. Mahama visits Professor Opukwajiman on Mother's Day. Sami Jemfi apologizes over dollar gift to Agrada. And on Mother's Day, Ghana thrives because of you, Opukwajiman to mothers. Okay. These are some stories that have made it to our website, citynewsroom.com, as well as channel1news.com. All right, let's take a few paragraphs from the story that they're leading with on the citynewsroom.com. This one says, Chief of Staff summons Sami Jemfi over cash gift to Agrada. Story by Kobna Wilson. And it says, the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, has summoned the acting Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, after a viral video emerged showing him handing over an undisclosed sum of money, reportedly in US dollars, to evangelist and former fetish priestess Patricia Odro Cranting, widely known as Nana Agrada. Now, sources at the Jubilee House confirmed to City News that Sami Jemfi has been asked to appear before the Chief of Staff to explain the circumstances surrounding the transaction, which has sparked widespread public criticism and raised concerns over the ethical conduct of public officials. The footage, which has been widely circulated on social media platforms, captures Sami Jemfi in what appears to be a personal encounter with Nana Agrada. The purpose and nature of the cash handover remain unclear, but the optics of a senior public servant giving money to a controversial religious figure have ignited a firestorm of speculation and public backlash. Critics have pointed to the viral video as potentially undermining President John Dramani Mahama's recently launched Code of Conduct for Public Officials, which emphasizes integrity, accountability, and transparency in public service. So just go onto the website, citynewsroom.com or channel1news.com, and you can get the details of these stories and several others. But here in the studio, we'll be looking at these stories as well, bringing you perspectives to them, and we'll be having a conversation around these various topics. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. I am Nanatufo Boateng. Stay with us. When we come back, the news review segment and the conversations begin.
Life can get hectic, and sometimes we forget to prioritize our well-being. That's where Vernal Mineral Water steps in. A refreshing solution packed with essential minerals, Vernal Mineral Water keeps you hydrated and balanced. Whether you're at home or work, Vernal Mineral Water is there to keep you going. Don't let a busy schedule hinder your health. Make Vernal Mineral Water a part of your daily routine. Share the love with Vernal Mineral Water, the choice for a healthy, vibrant you.
This advert is FDA approved.
So much love in the air.
What are we looking at?
Thank you guys for joining us for this unforgettable night.
Paw Patrol is on a roll.
It's Max Verstappen in the lead.
The megastar is here.
Absolutely sensational.
Let's go!
Just taking a trip down memory lane.
Get unbelievable entertainment that is unbelievably easy to own. Get and stay connected to DSTV.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi, Effie. How are you?
How are you? You carry your art everywhere, literally.
Everywhere, and I'm stuck.
And this is Whitney Chinyonye Ernest.
Yes.
And she is an artist.
Making
One of
a
my
good spaghetti bolognese. So that's spaghetti and a tomato sauce to go with it. We're gonna mix it up so that it's like a spaghetti jollof.
Hey. For us, old is gold.
Yeah.
And but you guys, like, you move with the times. We meet and then we vibe and then we're friends. And if it didn't work out, we move on. No
pushing.
Yeah. What kind of life is this? So is it that the meat is the last thing to go in?
What's cooking? Let me stir it.
No, that's not the that's not the kind of work.
Please, I'm stirring. What's your name?
Papa.
Oh, Fafa.
Yeah.
Right. And what's your name?
Whitney.
Whitney.
Ernest.
Whitney.
You're to say Whitney.
Whitney
Yeah.
Houston.
What's Cooking is brought to you by Tasty Tom and Kivo Pepper.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked. Welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
Boku has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yendi, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed
in us.
You are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. If you based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva Pop too, and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's time to get talking, to get into the conversation around some of the subjects or the topics that we'll be picking out of the news cycle. In studio with me now is the editor of the News Center, a newspaper, the editor of the newscenter.com, Elvis Darko. Good morning, Elvis.
Good morning.
How was the weekend?
Not bad at all. Newspaper. Sunday is not a weekend. Sunday is the full working day.
Exactly.
Because you are producing the paper for Monday, so the weekend is only on a Saturday. Apart from Saturday, you don't have a weekend.
Very well, very well. Guys, do remember that the show is interactive. We'd like to know your thoughts. We'd like to hear from you. Send us your comments, your suggestions, your recommendations regarding whatever we'll be discussing on the show. You can do that via our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're on YouTube, where we're streaming live. But you can also send us a comment via WhatsApp. Okay, the number there is on your screens. Send us your thoughts. Let us know what you think. All right, we're going straight into it. And topical amongst the various issues is the one that has to do with the acting CEO, the acting chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sami Gyamfi, and his dollar gifts to Nana Agrada. He's a public officer, yes, but he's gifting someone money. We do not know the reasoning behind that money, why he's giving it to who he is giving it to. But too many people calling for his head. Is this tenable?
Good morning. The point is, as a country, I think if you read the page 5 of the News Center today, there's an article there that if we have, as a country, if we pay attention to what you call honor code, if people really want to really observe those things, Mahama will not need even a code
of conduct for public officers.
That's what the article says. Let me if we have an honor culture, Mahama wouldn't need appointees code. See, honor code, when we live by certain principles as a people, it helps us to deal with certain things. But in this country, it appears we don't really care much about those things. And because honor and code or honor culture and ethics are not like legally binding issues, they are like self-regulatory issues in most circumstances. It's as if the person involved will need to make a decision. It become an issue today because, first of all, we've seen how the NDC reacted when there was a report of monies found under Cecilia Dapa's bed. And the question was, why will a public official have money under his bed? What's the bank doing? And it was one of the major campaign issues in this country. If you do that, today, if you also do this, people will complain. You understand it? And when a code of ethics has been launched, conduct by the president has been launched, and one of the issues captured in it is about appointees showing opulence. And this happened. Obviously, people will take issues with it. But I see, these things David has done is nothing new to a politician in Ghana.
Right.
A normal politician in Ghana goes around sharing money for people every now and then. And if you monitor social media, you see a lot of NDC guys saying, this is nothing new to them because Sami Gyamfi is a generous guy. He does it all the time. You understand it? That's the argument a lot of NDC communicators are putting up on social media. That is nothing new. Do you know how much money Sami gives shares to people? This is no money. You understand? So we have taken certain things as normal. That if a politician comes around, he should be able to give us money. So for us, it's a normal thing in this country that politicians will give us money. So for Sami Gyamfi to fall for this, it's not like anybody said it, but for him, You see, when you do something for a long time, it becomes like part and parcel of it. So when you are doing it, you really don't see anything wrong with it. You understand?
Yeah.
But the moment you become a public official, see, the way people look at things you have done is different from how you behave when you are a private individual.
Exactly.
So until he was appointed gold board,
acting CEO.
Like this issue will not be an issue.
Exactly,
if he was still a communication officer of the NDC and goes around and gives this money, who is interested? Because it's not in public office. But when you're in public office, you have a certain way of conduct. And then see, the interest also is because people will have to ask the question, what is the source of the money?
Exactly.
What's the source of the money? Because when you're in a public office and you are spending money, we have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Okay? There are so many instances around the world when people start in public office, including this country, and misuse public money. And it's only found after the money had been used, after the money had been spent. So when somebody who is a public official is engaged in something like that, the first question will be, what even is the source of the money? And if this is just one incident, how many areas has he gone to and shared money? You understand it? And if the money is really his own, who knows? Where the money is from public purse, who will know? And because we don't have unexplained wealth law in this country, and the Ghana Revenue Authority power that they have to be able on their own audit any Ghanaian, whether private or public official, about what you own, we are also not doing it. So then the public is concerned that since these things are not being done, it means that people can have access to all kinds of money, including public money, and spend it anyhow. So I think that the Sami Devi issue is an issue simply because, first of all, he's now a public official. Two, because they used things like this against the previous government, which is one of the reasons why one of the things they did in their 120 days was to launch a code of conduct. And if the code of conduct is against opulence, and you do this, obviously people will say President Mama should sack him. And that is why people are saying that if you want to look at the code of conduct critically and the things that are said there, that means that he has to be sacked. And that is the issue. You see, but see, most of the times, this is why we put presidents in tight corner.
Exactly.
Okay, see, because if you have an honor culture, you not wait for the president to sack you, you sack yourself.
Resign. Yeah.
Just this last week, the national security advisor for Sweden resigned. Why? His pictures were found on a dating site. Not that his naked picture or anything. The mere fact his picture. It's mere that his picture was found on a dating site. You as a national security advisor, what is your picture doing on a dating site? He didn't work for the president to sack him. The very moment he came public that his picture was on a dating site, he knew that he is responsible. He quickly resigned. There are people in other countries that resigned not because of what they did happen when they were in office. Things that they did that happened many years before they became public officials came up and they resigned. I remember the minister in Germany has to resign because he had received a gift about 15 years earlier before becoming a public official. And when he became a public, the issue of that gift came up. And once it became a public issue, he had to resign. So you see, the way things are done other places, it doesn't make this difficult for the president. But in this country, when these issues come up, appointees will still want to remain in office until the president sacks them.
He has apologized publicly. The president's hand is tied.
Apology will not end it. Apology will not end anything. It is a political issue. As I said, NDC did these things to the previous government.
He himself actually did it.
Exactly.
Went ahead to explain money laundering according to the law.
Hitting him, they are not hitting him because they think that Sami Defi cannot afford $20,000 or $10,000 or whatever amount involved. They are doing it because they say if you are a man of principle, you were attacking others for similar things. So then why should you be allowed to stay in office? So it's a typical political game we are seeing. And it's also because the NDC, in an attempt to prove that they are better than the NPP, launch a code of conduct that should guide people. And so if you launch a code of conduct and one of the issues is opulence, if to read the foreword, the kind of things that were said there. And the public now says, okay, what has happened? We believe that it's breach the code of conduct. The person should be sacked. The apology cannot save you. The only thing can save you is if the president decides that he won't sack you. But you see, this is where the president is going to be in a tight corner. This is his first test after launching the code of conduct. So if the president also fails to sack Sami James, the question is, if subsequent appointees also breach the code, will the president have the honor to sack those people? So once the president fails to sack Sami James, it means that he has set a precedent that if others also should breach the code, he should not sack them. If he sacks others for breaching the code, then there's going to be internal implosion within the party to say that it's because Sami Jefi is your favorite, you didn't sack him, but others who are not your favorite, you are sacking them. So right now the president is in a fix. He either sacks Sami Jefi to make sure that any other person that breaches the code will also be sacked. Or if he says he accepts apology and maintains him, it means that any other person that falters in the future should also offer an apology, and that should suffice.
Let me read his apology, and then I'll come back to you on how much pressure, real pressure, there is on the president at this point. Sami Jefi posted this apology online on social media, and he reads, "Folks, I have taken notice of the wave of criticisms against my person in the last 24 hours. To clarify, this was simply a kind gesture to a fellow human being, in line with my daily and lifelong custom of lending a helping hand to people in need." Lending a helping hand to people in need. Underlined. "I sincerely thought I was doing this act of kindness in private and never imagined that same could find its way into the public space. But the money was given in public. That is unfortunate and regrettable. I must say that I understand the uproar that this gesture has generated, particularly from comrades who are sincerely hurt by same. To all such comrades, I am sincerely sorry for this unfortunate act of indiscretion. I respect and appreciate your views. My profound appreciation goes to all those who have reached out to counsel and encourage me. I am most grateful for your solidarity. Let me state, however, that my view of public office as a privilege to serve society, solve problems, and help others has not changed. I remain focused on the task entrusted to me by His Excellency the President for the development of our country. Stay blessed and have a blissful Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there." This is Sami Jefi. Now, let's deal with the pressure on the president, and then we'll look at the content of his apology. I'm asking about pressure on the president because prior to the launch of his code of conduct that same day, he chastised some of his appointees for having failed to declare their assets by the deadline he had given. There were sanctions, some 3 months or 4 months salary forfeiture. Then there was a new deadline for that. So already people are going against his directives, one regarding the declaration of assets. And now, after launching the code of conduct, this has happened. In that code of conduct, there is a restriction on opulence. Now this has happened. So how much of a pressure does this put on John Mahama to act?
Also, the pressure has to come from all kinds of angles, including within the party. Because, as I said, they themselves know that this is one of the things they used against the previous government. And you see, the NDC needs to, as a politician says, sometimes I smile and I laugh. The NPP is mourning its loss. And one of the things in their report was what?
Arrogance.
Arrogance of power. Arrogance of power. What they are facing now is an issue of arrogance of power. So if Mahama fails to sack him, the people who believe in arrogance, so this is an arrogance of power. Because you launch a code, the person breaks the code, public says remove the person, you refuse. So it means that you are now being arrogant to us. So the NDC should know that the government already risked being accused of arrogance of power if he fails to sack Sami Jefi. Because he himself has admitted that even within the NDC, within the NDC, there's an uproar over what he has done. And then he himself admits that it's a lack of proper exercise of discretion. But he's not willing to resign if you have admitted that you believe that with the benefit of hindsight, because there is uproar, because there is uproar, you now realize that you have not exercised that discretion well, and you are not willing to resign. It's an arrogance of power. You see? So the NDC should know that they face arrogance of power if Jami Jevi is not removed. So if he really wants to save the NDC from arrogance of power, then he himself should know that he has to leave. If he doesn't leave, he puts the pressure on President Mahama. And if President Mahama look at, oh, my darling boy, so I won't sack him, it means that you have already put NDC on the footing to say that, oh no, this is arrogance of power. Mahama launched the code. He himself admitted that he didn't really do the right thing if he looks at the public uproar, yet he has not been sacked. So you see, in our part of the world, okay, when you are talking about code and the rest, sometimes you have to be very careful. Because you see, we have a culture that says that you don't reject a gift. Okay? We have a culture that says that gifts are acceptable. In the cultures where we want to adopt this code from, they tell you that they believe that behind every gift is a hidden agenda, and that no gift is free.
Right.
So the way they perceive gift in the Western world is different from how we perceive gift in our part of the world. And so if our culture endorses certain things, and we want to launch code, and the code are actually kicking against those cultures and the rest, we are likely to fall victims to it. So based on what he himself has said against others in the past, okay, based on what the statement Sami Jefi himself has said against others in the past, based on similar happenings, what the party itself did with it in campaign, and to prove that they are better than the previous government, the party went ahead, the government went ahead to launch a code of conduct to say that for them, their appointees are going to behave well, not like what the previous government appointees have done. And you look at all these issues, and then now you are faced with this issue, you either sack the gentleman. First of all, the gentleman must resign to give the president that shame. But if he feels that he now push the pressure to the president, if the president also refuses to sack him, it becomes an issue of arrogance of power. You launch a code, the person breaks the code, and the person admits that yes, with the benefit of hindsight, he realized that he didn't exercise that discretion very well, and then you fail to sack him. Then the accusation, what the NPP is crying about today, that is one of the reasons they lost the election, which is arrogance of power, is coming to hit you, the NDC. And so I believe that for me, what we are talking about, the president himself knows that he's under extreme pressure. Because nobody forced him to launch a code. He wants to tell Ghanaians that he wants to govern differently. Exactly. That's why he launched the code. So if somebody breaches the code and you, the president, will not take action, we must understand that it has potential. See, and the code, the president wants to implement the code, I don't know, but maybe I have to find legal arguments as to whether that is the right thing to do. President wants to implement the code the way he wants it, not the way it is stated. Because if you look at the asset declaration, he had already said that whoever did not declare the asset, he was going to sack them. So when the list came out, the 10 others, Domalabo said that the president should sack everybody that did not declare. What the president did, oh no, I'm not sacking them. I'm taking 3 months of their salary and giving them a new deadline to declare. So it means that you yourself, the code you have launched, you are not ready to apply it strictly.
Exactly.
So I will not be surprised that you come and hear that, oh, Sami Jefi's 3 months salary has been withheld and it should go to the Ghana medical something for as punishment for what he has done. That is not what the code has said. You understand? And that's not how codes are implemented in other places that we know. Because if that's what you have to say, then you should have said that, you should have been clearly stated in the code that if the person is a first-time offender,
then
the person will not be sacked, will forfeit the salary or this and that. But if you leave it open and they say opulence will not be entertained in government, if somebody has engaged in opulence and the person does not get sacked, and they will get some excuses and they come and tell you, oh, the person's salary is supposed to go somewhere.
Thank you.
It's going to create a deficit of crisis for the government.
Thank you. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into more conversations.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi, Afi. How are you?
How are you? You carry your art everywhere, literally. Everywhere, and this is Whitney Chinyonye Ernest.
Yes.
And she is an artist.
Making one of my good spaghetti bolognese. So that's spaghetti and a tomato sauce to go with it. We're gonna mix it up so that it's like a spaghetti jollof.
Hey. For us, old is gold. And but you guys, like, you move with the times. We meet and then we vibe and then we're friends, and if it didn't work out, we move on. No hardship.
Yeah.
What kind of life is this? So is it that the meat is the last thing to go in?
What's cooking? Let me stir it.
No, that's not the kind. That's not the kind of work.
Please, I'm stirring. I'm stirring. What's your name?
Papa. Papa.
Oh, Fafa.
Yeah.
Right. And what's your name?
Whitney.
Whitney. Whitney.
Very nice.
Whitney.
You're to say Whitney.
Whitney
Houston.
What's Cooking is brought to you by Tasty Tom and Kivo Pepper.
Looking for the latest buzz in Ghana's entertainment world? Welcome to Ghana Weekend, your ultimate destination for all things creativity and entertainment.
Stay in the loop with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and then insider stories from your favorite creatives and stars. From music, movies, fashion and art, lifestyle and culture, Ghana Weekend brings it all together. Get a daily dose of entertainment, discover new talents, and never miss out on the creativity that defines our vibrant culture.
Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're having a conversation regarding that viral video in which the acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board is seen gifting Nana Agrada an undisclosed sum of money, which now we're being told is in US dollars. Elvis, you wrap up your point on that. Yes, but let me say good morning to Ibrahim Ajay, former Assistant Secretary, Office of the former President.
So, good morning.
Thank you very much. I'll just wrap up and then we'll hear from you.
What I'll say is that the President took a step by launching a code. But this is a policy of government. There's a bill for conduct of public officers that we are trying to pass as a country. I think that the President should go the next step, push that bill and get the bill passed to govern everybody. But this one that governs only his appointees, the Ghanaian I know and the way we conduct our politics in this country, he is likely to set a in fact the bill, the what he has launched could become a trap for his government because nobody forced you to launch it. You launch it yourself. It is not that thing that covers all public office, because the bill for public would have covered even the president himself to the lowest person in the public service. So I will appeal to the president that instead of working with only what you have launched, push for the general bill of the conduct of public officers to go through parliament, where all the sanctions for default, for breach, will be clearly spelled out to go through, so that when somebody is found in this situation, we can apply directly and says, this is what the punishment for this is. Because I was asking somebody, the conduct, the code says opulence, they don't want it. But what is the punishment prescribed? Because in Ghana, you'll be told that for anybody that you can take to court and punish, the law must say this, and the law itself must prescribe the punishment. So if you launch a conduct, and if you don't say, if you are involved in opulence, this is the punishment. If you're involved in this is the punishment. You leave the punishment to yourself as discretion. Then the way you exercise that discretion will now bring public uproar towards you, because maybe your discretion is not what the public will be expecting. You understand it? The discretion will not be what public is expecting. And it may backfire on you because the way you exercise that discretion could also become a subject of public controversy.
Right. Thank you, Elvis. Let me come to you, Ibrahim. Some have described this as a public display of opulence. And irrespective of the intent there is, is a violation of the optics and it should come with some punishment. Do you agree to this?
Well, a very good morning to you. Before I agree to it, let's try and dissect the issue. If it's a public display of opulence, should there be a law against that? Against opulence? What there needs to be done is an investigation into the money that he was sharing, foreign currency dollars. You rightly mentioned that, Nana Tufo, that an undisclosed sum. Some, you said, we heard some saying $1,000, $2,000, $10,000. It looked for me like $2,000 when Agrada was waving it, if they're all $100 bills. So let's, for argument's sake, $2,000. But we saw Sami Jamfi enter a car, his car, and remove that $2,000 or so from a bag, a container, having lots of dollars inside there. That's where we should focus our investigation. Don't look at the fruit, look at the tree.
Are you able to confirm if there was lots of dollars in there?
Oh, we can't confirm, but we have eyes.
Perhaps that's what you pulled out was all
I
the
don't want
dollars
us
in
to
there.
go off track, Nana Tufo. This one is for public consumption. It's not about what I can confirm. The thing came out, and interestingly, he did it so brazenly. Can you imagine how much more dollars Sami Jamfi is sharing when cameras or the public are not in sight? We are making a lot of, paying a lot of attention on what we saw. I always say, when you catch a thief today, it doesn't mean he started stealing today. And then they say, oh, he's been doing this all this while.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about his generosity.
We've heard.
Yeah, even in the statement, he's admitted to doing the same.
Let's find out about where this generosity is coming from. Sami Jamfi on TV3, I think we've all seen the video.
Yeah.
He said that if you are caught, when I say caught, in possession of money that you cannot account for, that is not commensurate with your salary or income, then to all intents and purposes, you are engaged in money laundering, and then you shall. And he said, not may, not may. The law says you shall. He says, check the memo. You don't check the memo. Talking about Cecilia Dapa on that incident. So, Sami Jamfi needs to tell us, per the investigation that should happen, that money, where did it come from? Is it your money? What is your salary? What land did you sell? What car did you sell? Whatever answer you will give, let us look at it, because it's innocent until proven guilty. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the investigation needs to happen. So we can understand Sami Jamfi's reason for this generosity. Or sadaka is good. Charity, or shamfole, you're giving alms. It's well and good. Because he's saying that he's giving to humanity. I have no issue at all with anybody giving charity. The question is, where's the source of your charity? And as a country, we must not sit down, and I'm happy that NDC on social media platforms are waking up and calling a spade and saying what he's done is disgraceful, is corrupt. This is NDC people. We know each other on the platforms. Because now they see that all their sweat is for nothing, cause 90. Because somebody somewhere, and don't think Sami Jamfi is alone. He was the one that was caught. We should not in any way, shape or form think that this NDC appointee is alone. Because the camera has not called the others, so you think it's only the whole political party. Is it only Sami Jamfi who's sharing dollars? These are the questions that we need to interrogate. Because Sami Jamfi has stated time without number that corruption, when you're so found to be guilty of, and as it should be, I subscribe to the same thing, you are jailed subsequent to you being found guilty of the offense thereon. And once he cannot prove where he got those funds from, you understand? Where is he sitting now? Is it not acting CEO of Goldboard? What is Goldboard's policy? And it's a fantastic policy. I'm fully in support of the policy. You want to buy gold and you're a foreigner, you can't do it here. You can apply, you negotiate, send your dollars to either Goldboard directly or your aggregator. We will then change it into cedis, and then your aggregator, your representative on the ground, can get the gold, and then, in fact, the Goldboard will ship it out to you. Why am I mentioning this? Because suddenly we're having and it's a good policy, don't get me wrong in my submission. the gold bond policy is a good policy. So now we see an influx, and a good one, of dollars coming into the country. And we're seeing its effects within the exchange rate mechanism. Am I right? We're seeing the gold reserves also increasing. And who is at the helm of that sector? Is it not Sami Jamfi? So this is what you're doing with the gold that is entering gold board. Because as I said, if we continue to focus on, 2,000, some people are saying dollars, Nyamishra. I thought my jaw was offended. If it is only $2,000 per, don't look at the per. Look at the purse from where the per came from. And there was a bag or some, you saw it. It's not for me to determine what was in there. So how is this a daily basis? You have your Ghana's ATM in your car, your 4x4, and as you go,
isn't that an exaggeration?
What is
Ghana's ATM?
That's what I'm saying. That it's for him to prove that the money is his own.
No, but
money.
what Ibrahim is saying, problem why even the statement he's made is issued.
The admission in there.
Because he said that it's not a normal thing he does per his own statement. So what Ibrahim is saying, if he's inferring from the statement, it's not wrong.
Right.
Because we didn't issue the statement for Samiji. He issued and said, what has been seen and people are angry about is a normal thing that he does.
Yes. Right. Let's say good morning to Victor. Victor Kwajoga Adaudu is a member of the NDC's legal and communications team. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you. Good to have you.
Good morning.
So I'll be very brief on my submission so Victor can also have a bite. It's important that as Ghanaians, that's why I'm giving the kudos to the NDC members of the party. Because as for MPP, we'll attack. And we'll attack in a way and manner that speaks to the issue. That's what I want people to do. If you go and attack the personality, then you leave the issue. We're not
so for you, what do you think should happen?
There should be an investigation. Number one, explain to us where these monies are coming from. Because you do it regularly.
Yeah.
Yes. As my brother just said, he does it regularly. So how much money have you dispersed regularly? Over the years.
And what's the source of this?
And what's the source of that money? Tell us. These are key. And if we look into those who are funding him, if he's having a job, I think most of us would know. If he's having a business, when those of us who are politically exposed, you'll find that people know what we do privately for enterprise and what have you. And I have yet to hear that Osami Jampi does this. He has this filling station. He's doing whatever it is, let us find out. And Ghanaians, I beg you, in the name of God, let us make this an example. If indeed things pan out and Sami is found guilty, he's innocent now, of any form of corruption. If we allow it to go, after some time they'll forget about it, then that is to the NDC's own detriment. And I'll tell you why. When you lose an election, you don't lose it in 2028. It's these little drops that, irritate the Ghanaians and say, look at the, the opulence, the arrogance. Were these things not visited on us? Both, I'm talking 2008, MPP.
Yeah.
We lost the election. Then 2016, it's cyclical. All you have to do is speak to the base and say, we didn't like this about MPP in 2008. We went out. Then the same election saying, we don't like this about NDC in 2016. You remember the minister, I think for gender, her name will come. She was caught on radio and a driver recorded her. She said that NDC woman, Victoria Hammer,
right.
If you don't make $1 million in politics, you are stupid.
The deputy communication
minister.
Deputy
comes.
So we as Ghanaians heard these comments from NDC.
And he was sacked.
And she was sacked.
Yeah.
But the message had gone out that, hey, while we sweat, and now I'm talking to the NDC, while we sweat, if you don't make $1 million, you're stupid. So they say, cha. These are all the things that added value. I'm not saying it's the only thing. To we winning the 2016 elections with a 1.23 million gap between Nana Akufo-Addo and John Mahama. And then 169 seats majority. Are you following me? The same thing has happened MPP as well. So if NDC want to sweep this under the carpet, these are the deposits unless you sack Jami Fampi, subject to the investigation, of course. I'm not being judged during execution. My last 10 seconds. Unless you investigate the matter without covering it up, no covert underhand business. Otherwise, NDC will say, how did we get here in 2028? They will want a minibar. What happened? That after all the good work we've done, it had unraveled. It wasn't John Mahama per se who was corrupt in 2016, but all the ministers. You remember the bus branding issue, the Victoria Hammer issue, and I can go on, but this is not the platform for that. Right. You take action now. I'm talking John Mahama. Otherwise, you'll pay for it in 3.5 years' time. I'll leave it there.
Right. Victor.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, do you think a person in Sammy Jeffy's position should know better, especially after the launch of the Code of Conduct? And what type of position does this put the president?
For me, before I start, let me say good morning to my panelists and also good morning to my friends. And let me extend some appreciation to, we lost one of my mates from O-level Mauli School.
Oh,
and I'm sure that the old Maulians were there to give him a befitting burial. We appreciate it and we love the show of support and love for the bereaved family. So this Sammy Jemfi's issue, all I can say is that Sammy is a victim of generosity. Now, when I say he's a victim of generosity, you know, even before Sammy becomes the National Communication Officer of the NDC from those days, the NDC was not attracted to the youth. We lost almost all the campuses, the youth, we lost almost all. It was the way he came, branding, and out of his generosity, engaging the youth, encouraging them to go to school, do a lot of things. That is why it attracted a lot of the youth that had come. So, Sammy in his own, let me say in his own field or within his confine, sometimes people appreciate what he does. And you know, when they appreciate, you know, they give him and he also maybe distributes to the people who come to him in the need. If you watch the clip very well, you even realize that it was the self-styled evangelist, the Agrada, and her husband. And you could see that maybe the husband was having a camera. We don't know the communication between Sammy and the lady. So, and I believe this was occasion when he went to the 1 week funeral of the, that is Prophet Nigel Gaze's father's 1 week. So you could see the dancer, the Adowa dancers. One of them also had followed. And you know, normally you go places and people ask you, can you help me? Just give me something. And maybe that was where he was. And in any event, Sammy always has security. He has his people, they were prevented. But we don't know the discussion that went on and the lady. Now, who flaunted the dollars?
The lady did.
It was the self-styled, how do they call it?
Anagrada.
I've not encountered it before, right? And I see some of the things they do, an evangelist or a clergyman. I'm not here to denigrate her or anything, but by their fruit, we shall know them. That you flaunt the money and show it for a showmanship. You know, you can see her, if you trace her, when she went to Kumasi, this man's funeral, the mother's funeral. You know, she was the one who threw all the dollars in the vehicle. That was the showmanship. They want status, they want showmanship. But if you see Sammy's act, it was not like he went for the funeral and started showering people with money, as we see, for showmanship, for status, to say this is who I am in society. We see at funeral. It wasn't that. It was just that she had asked for, and I think she herself had come that she requested that, oh, can I get some fuel, honorable? And out of generosity, he wants to do that, right? So it is not like his filthy rich or show of opulence and affluence that I want to give you. We don't know at the material time whether he had CD on him or he did not. And if he didn't have, he decided that I have dollar available. You know how we all revered and we like to have dollar, right? Nobody would want to give his dollar away just like that.
Knowing all that has happened regarding the launch of the code of conduct and all that, couldn't he have been more discreet?
No, that's why he has apologized. That maybe the timing and what I did, that they were taking photographed. I should have been aware and see that the husband was videoing or to see. How many of the evangelists and people, men of God, you go and they see their people are videoing? If it's not for maybe excitement to say that I've gotten money from this. But he himself has said, and for me, it's a great lesson, it's a painful lesson we need to learn. Because when you become a public officer or you are a figure, national figure, your life is an open book. And you see, let me say it here that the NPP, our opponent, have been looking for scandals. That they want scandals within the Mahama government. And for the last 5 months, there is no scandal.
So now you started
with this one, they think that it's a big fish and let's make a meal out of it, right? So it is about Safmi Jenfi. We should investigate him. Look, within NPP.
But with the kind of governance you promised, you think this doesn't matter?
No. That's why I'm saying that the man is a victim of his generosity. His security. Because the security could have prevented all those people. But you don't know the discussion when she said she wanted some food. And somebody that we see on the screen, we see who calls herself as an evangelist, right? And all the things. If you are in the position. You see, don't forget that the good Bible, and the book tells that givers never lack. When you give, you never lack, right? So the lesson in here is that when you're a public person and what you are doing, be conscious of the environment so that what you do, they do not put different interpretation on it. It's not good for the optics.
Because at this point, it's not even about his kindness or generosity. It's about standards.
It's about standards. But if you look at even the code of standards, what has he really breached in this? If he had gone and was showering the money on people, that is where people would ask questions. But you see, the NDC as a government and the members don't want even any blot on the regime. So all scandals, everybody is trying to make sure that nobody cause or carry these scandals that would come and be an albatross around our neck. I'm sure it was out of that. That is why he has gone and said, look, it was indiscretion. It's an act of indiscretion. But as to say that he had money, we should look at the source of the money. And within, now we have done, are you saying that somebody has come and said that some money has been misappropriated, some money has been taken from a fund? If they have evidence that he's taking money from the gold board, and the gold board, I'm sure they have their own people there, they can check, and money taken from gold board, then that is when you can say that we have evidence A, B, C, D, which suggests that the money you were sharing came from this account. But, you know, everybody knows that Sami, at least, is a man of means. He's not a man of straw. He's not a man of straw, even from opposition. He's not a man of straw. So if he makes that, and he has seen that the environment, so it's a lesson to all appointees and people who serve public. You know, every now day you meet people who ask you, you see, there's something that I can't even say on national TV. You walk around the ministries, you go to court, there are some particular group of people. When they see an NPP figure member, they come. You know, they do all that, they give you the shower, the praises, everything. The moment they see an NDC man too, they give you and they will collect money.
Right.
You see, there was one that the gentleman did. He said the wife was pregnant. He needed help. And I said, oh, go and tell the doctor that this is my complimentary card. I'll pay. Let the doctor call me. I'll pay. I never saw him. The next time he saw me, he said, oh, the wife had given birth. He wanted an adoring. Excuse my language, Ghanaians. Excuse my language. Forgive me. In Ghana, he speaks Ghana. I said, Kwe, Olu, Mika Bofenie. Then he sat down and said, oh, lawyer, when you walk out, because he didn't expect that from me.
Yeah.
Are you getting? He didn't expect that from me. No. Are you getting? So, for me, the standard is there. This is something that even for a man to come and say sorry, I've not done anything, but I think that what happened is causing, ruffling some feathers within the party, within society, and society is saying that yes, we like your generosity, but be mindful of how you do it. And I told you, Ghanaians don't like when you flaunt your richest money all over the place. And I think that for him to come and be bold and say, I'm sorry, at least we should not use a sledgehammer on an ant and say that he should be sacked. What has he done and be sacked? Compare. It's scandal that they are hungry for scandal.
Hungry just for looking scandal. For something to hang you with.
Within 3 months in their government, we had the people to sit with President's Gate. You have to pay $10,000 if you want to see. We saw that. The appointment committee, we saw issues that came up. We saw the contaminated fuel from Boston. Less than 3 months. Yeah, we saw a lot of things. So they are wondering why is it that people have vested interest. They have their own reason why they join political parties. Until now, the NDC has been able to hold its appointees, that nobody is moving out. And so for this act of indiscretion, now we've gotten him. He's a big fish. Let's latch on it. Once we latch on it, let's paint him black.
Well.
It is an issue of let's give the dog a bad name and we can hang it. I think
that is the dog not behaving badly in public.
No. I think that for him to be vociferous, for him to be tenacious and purpose in what he did when he was in opposition, some people think that, look, this is the time to pay back and say that this issue should be on the banner, the front banner, and this issue should not be. I think that let them learn the governance, what we have done so far. Let them learn. So that once they are getting their new leadership, and I think they've formed Patriotic Institute now, just like the Social Democracy School. Now here they have Patriotic Institute. Now, let them learn from us. And for act of indiscretion, I think that it is not. If you look at it, it was not. If he was the one who was flaunting it, I would go with the people who would say, no, this is not what we voted for.
Very well. Elvis, I could go to Elvis and then I'll come to you. Right. Victor doesn't think an investigation is worth it now. He thinks the apology should suffice. Are you okay with that?
Well, that is why politicians lose power all the time. Because you see, you win elections based on goodwill, but you lose elections based on perception. The public doesn't care whether fact is established that he stole the money or not. Nobody cares about that. It's about the perception. The perception is that the president who launched a code and says that anybody who demonstrated A, B, C, D, I will sack him. So that's what the public is going with. So you see, politicians need to understand that when it comes to politics, when you want to do politics, be mindful of perception rather than the actuals. Perception is, the actuals don't really matter in politics to the ordinary person. It's about the perception. The question is, are you telling me that what has happened, and with the uproar on social media, do you think there's a good perception for the government? That's the question the NDC should be asking themselves. Are we going to be living with this perception if we don't start this guy and then okay, Mahamadou is there to clear, it's another clearing agent to clear the people, and therefore it's the same thing. So it's this idea of let's try and establish fact is what cost the Akufo-Addo government. That's why he was tagged clearing agent. In the public's mind, the people who voted for you, they are not interested in the fact. They are interested in how do you act, because it's about perception that makes people vote or vote against you or for you. So I think the NDC should be careful of going with the same narrative that the Akufo-Addo government went with. Oh, we did investigate, the person is clean. Oh, this one doesn't constitute anything that you have to punish people. Look, the perception that people will form is your downfall. So if the public views that sack the person and you think that I will not sack the person, you have the power, decide to sack or not. But the voter also has the time
an apology
to teach you that
a public reprimand.
I'm telling you that
requesting resignation,
I'm
suspension or termination.
I question that when we are adopting something and pushing it that that's what we want to work in this country, we have to be very careful. I told you that a national security advisor's photo that he signed onto a dating site in Sweden, he has resigned. I've told you that in Germany, a minister who accepted a gift 15 years before he became a minister, once the issue of that gift came up, he resigned. See, because they understand that when the public form a perception, it's more dangerous than even actually convicting and jailing the person for politics. For political reasons, why the person will vote for you or vote against you is more of the perception that the person is forming against you rather than the factual issues you are dealing with. So when you are in politics and you want to play with perception, unfortunately, it's going to be against your own downfall. And I've always said it. In the Fourth Republic, corruption has won every party elections. But we have seen a lot of those people hauled to court and they won cases against the state. But the people voted against the government whose appointees were called corrupt because of the perception, not because it was established that they are actually corrupt. And that is why when they left power and the appointees were hauled to court, many of them won the cases against the state and are free. But you have lost the election because at the time the person was accused of doing that, the public perception is that the person should have been punished and you didn't punish and therefore we punish you. So when we are looking at political dynamics, be very mindful of how you deal with people's perception. So when the perception you realize this one, the uproar is big and it's against me, it's in your interest to sack the person. You see, when 88 NPP MP said Akufo-Addo must sack Kenoforiata, the fact is that whichever finance minister that was going to be brought in will not change anything. Because we had gone to the IMF and the IMF program is going to fix the problems. So if Akufo-Addo was of the view that somebody coming in is not going to change anything. But the fact that there's a perception that the man must go and he failed to sack the man, that is how people saw it, that okay, then we have to punish this government. So you see, sometimes the call to sack somebody, legally, the person might not have done anything wrong. It might be an ethical issue, it might be a moral issue, it might be a court issue. You cannot go and even prosecute the person in court. But for the political reason, you want to take that action so that you douse that anger against your government. So Victor has spoken very well, but I can tell you that when it comes to perception, his explanation will not hold to the ordinary person who believes that a government that promises that they will do better than the previous government has done this and now they are defending the person. I remember there was a time, so the NPP Fuji, they don't have mind, they only defend everything. Go on social media and see how people who benefit from Sami Devi are also defending him. So I want to just caution that look, when you are in government as a party, be mindful of the perception people have and how you actually act on those perceptions. If not, you may think that you investigated. So I mean, the call for investigation in this case may be important, but for me, the most important should be the public perception. And I think that if you monitor social media till today, the government itself knows that there's a rising public perception against the president and the government over this issue.
Should we sacrifice him on the altar of public perception?
That is politics. In politics, if the perception is negative and sacking the person will douse the flame, you sacrifice. In politics, it's all about sacrifice. Though. There are many people who have lost elections. There are many people who have lost their jobs in government, not because they actually did anything wrong, but because the analysis of public perception about the issue shows that if nothing is done about it, you can maintain the person, but you pay dearly for it in the next election. So in public perception management in terms of politics, it's different from you going to the court and convicting somebody. In fact, you may convince so many people to go to jail and still lose an election. You understand it?
Yeah.
So in politics, I always, as I said, goodwill. You have come to power because the public believes that you do better than the previous government. Because you have leveled a lot of accusations against the previous government. It went into people's mind that you said when you come, you will not be a clearing agent. You will not be the one that will treat people with kiss glow when the public is angry against them. As I said, when the call for Fourier to be sacked came, did the Fourier steal any money at that time? It's because people say the economy performance does not merit the Minister of Finance remaining in office to the point where members of the party themselves said, we want the man to go. And the president said, but if the man goes, what will change? Because we are already in a situation. But I think the man is rather the best person to fix it. Today we are getting a ratings upgrade because we did a debt restructure with the IMF. All the policies of the president have given Ghana a great ratings upgrade. But then it did not save the government from losing the election because the perception at that time and the public feeling is that if Okoforeta is sacked, that somebody else is brought. Look, we've lost the election. The NPP lost the elections. Okay, 4 or 5 months down the line. Ask yourself what really has changed in your life. But everybody is quite happy that there's a change in government. They want to give the new government that honeymoon period, and so. But the previous government caused all this, so let's leave the new government. Let's give them time. That is how politics work. It does not mean that the price of cake has changed. No. It does not mean that transportation has changed. But who is complaining about transportation again? But the prices have gone down. But the truck people pay the same amount. Has anybody said that they are paying too much for truck? No. Has anybody said cake 5 cedi has come to 3 cedi? But they are happy that
there's a change.
There's a happy about change.
Thank you, Elvis.
So politics is not about factual issues only.
Thank you. Guys, I'm going to take a break here, but when I come back, I'll go another round. Victor and then Ibrahim. By Ibrahim, you go first, and then we'll wrap up the conversation on this particular matter, and then we'll move into other matters. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In Accra, every year, we have about 18,000 people dying because of air pollution. So we are looking at how do you make sure the citizens of Accra are getting clean air.
It's imperative that we tackle air pollution. Central Accra is where a lot of burning takes place. The main source of pollution in Accra is poor waste collection practices. You have people burning their trash left and right. And then also vehicular emissions because of the dense traffic. The goal of the Breeze Cities initiative in Accra is to influence air quality planning policy decisions. We are deploying air quality sensors in schools, in bus terminals, in residential areas and market centers to generate hyperlocal air quality data in Accra.
Once we know locally what is happening, we are able to tailor-make decisions and plans and policies towards it. We believe at the end of the day, it's going to help us save a lot more lives.
Looking for a seamless shopping experience? Welcome to Franco, where everything you need is just a click away. Shop the hottest deals and unlock amazing discounts on our products such as mobile phones, refrigerators, washing machines, Franco air conditioners from 1.5 horsepower to 2.5 horsepower, Franco television from 32 inches to 100 inches, CCTV cameras, laptops, and many more. Download our easy-to-use mobile app. Visit our website at www.francotrading.com. Call the numbers on the screen for any assistance and enquiries. Franco, home of quality mobile phones, accessories, and your home appliances.
Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. Victor Kwajoga Adaudu is here in the studio, Ibrahim J, as well as Elvis Dakon. We're currently discussing the issue of Sammy Gyamfi, acting CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, and his dollar gift, if we can put it that way, to Nana Agrada. Ibrahim.
Well, thank you. I want to, in my second bite on this story, cite and echo what Elvis has said about political parties failing to see how the perception of individuals can affect them in the election 2028. Previously, you heard my submission that NDC will find that in 2020, how do we get here?
Yeah.
Inshallah. If it is that they will lose the election, inshallah. Of course, you know where I'm coming from. How do we arrive? That's what NDC will say. It's these things that lead to it. And if you don't correct it, as Elvis is mentioning, you'll pay for it in 3.5 years' time. This is to NDC. Victor mentioned the Bible, and I want to go to the Holy Book as well. This is very important.
Right.
You know the story of Jonah. In the Quran, the same story is there. In the Quran, Prophet Jonah is called Prophet Yunus.
Okay.
And in the Quran, likewise in the Bible, what happened? Allah called him, I'm talking Jonah, Yunus, to preach to the people of Nineveh. And he in anger said they weren't listening, and he left without God's permission.
Right.
They were on a boat. What happened? A storm came. Am I right?
Yeah.
And the storm was going to swallow, not swallow, but boat Babutu. The boat was going to
capsize. Yeah.
And they did what? They cast lots. It fell on Yunus, Jonah, and he confirmed that yes, he's a Hebrew and he's angered God. And what happened? He agreed to be thrown off before the whale swallowed him. As soon as they threw him off, what happened?
The storm settled.
The storm calmed. I'm not saying Sammy Gyamfi.
So Sammy Gyamfi is the Jonah.
But you know, the
Prophet
Quran,
Jonah, Sammy Gyamfi.
the Quran, the Kitab, the books of Allah, the Bible, they guide us. They set examples for us to follow and be guided by. Everything we do, you know, this phone has a manual. If you go to the manual, you can use it properly. The Bible, the Quran, these are the manuals for our lives.
Right.
And the instructions are there. If the NDC don't want to take the instruction from the holy books and say, this guy will collapse your boat because the community are angry with one person, but the whole boat was going to capsize because of one person. And if they feel, oh, this is generosity, givers never lack, I'm not impugning anybody. I've said in my previous submission, investigation should carry out. If he's found guilty, so be it. If he's found innocent, then we look at it, we face that decision accordingly. If givers never lack, and again, I'm not impugning anybody, we hear of our own people in church when certain members of our community, I'm talking churchgoers, are giving money, and people know this guy is a drug dealer. This guy is an armed robber. This guy is a fraudster. We say it all, but when they dash in the money, God praise you. God praise you. Ghana, we must wake up. Forgive me if I'm shouting. We really need to wake up. Generosity does not equate to integrity. If givers never lack, all the armed robbers and galamseyers, Charlie, you know where to go. Go to church, go to your mosque, go to your synagogue, go to your shrine, give. Go to the hospitals, give. Go to wherever and give. Because the good Lord will bless you, because, you know, givers never lack. I'm not trying to criticize what Victor said. He's mentioning a fact, and it's true. God said, if you let go of the seed in your hand, I will let go of the harvest in mine. You understand me? But I'm just saying that when we somehow try to sugarcoat some things, we here in the MPP were sitting down. It's not like we were looking to hang somebody. Go on the platforms. NDC are more angry than MPP. Which is why in my earlier submission, Nana, I was commending NDC. Because when you do that, you are being patriotic.
Very well.
You're saying this guy's from our ranks, but what he's doing is disgraceful. Our perception is corrupt. You know, it's not about whether he fronted the money. Where did the money come from? And like I said, the camera caught him. How many other people within the NDC who cameras are not there, mobile phones are not there, are doing the same thing? It's not about the gold board. There's a little weak link in the gold board structure, not a weak link. It's only weak if we allow corrupt happenings to happen. Let me tell you, today, the price for gold, LBMA, rate is $103,000 per kilo.
Right.
Good. That's the price. But you find that people are selling, before the aggregators, before it gets to gold board, maybe around $83,000, $86,000, $88,000 per kilo. And the gold board's structure is this. If you're a foreigner, you can't do business in Ghana, which is good. It's fantastic. Alhamdulillah. I'm 100% in support. But and Sammy Jamfi's online, when he was explaining how foreigners can do, because we're not anti-foreigner, we're just pro-Ghanaian. So you're a foreigner, you want to buy gold. Contact Gold Board. Hey, listen now, Naruto, we negotiate. He said it. When we negotiate, you get a price, you send your money, dollars, we convert to cedis, and your rep will here, and then we'll send the gold to you wherever you are. Listen to the thing, we negotiate. I've told you the price, 103,000, but right now it's 88. Imagine I'm at Gold Board. I know that generally the price is 86, 87,000 per kilo. So I can tell you, Charlie, I will say that I managed to get you, because you were negotiating hard, 75,000.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is 88, but I'm negotiating. Yeah. And I don't want to lose your business. So I gave it to you, Mr. Foreigner or Madam Foreigner, at 75,000. Meanwhile, the thing is 88. Yeah. So I've given you 13,000 off dollars per kilo. So what you do, I will give you an invoice for 75,000. But you know I've given you a good thing. So the 5,000, Charlie, you know the back door.
You need to say thank you back
door. Yeah, come and say thank you. So on the gold board issue, it's not about negotiating.
Right.
It needs to be, this is the fixed price for this week. You want to buy gold, the gold is $87,000. You know, you do it on a weekly basis. You get me? Generally, it's so that there's stability. If you buy in this window, this is the price. The moment you negotiate, then somebody can be having dollars in their car and generously giving to a grada because there's been a thank you behind the door. I'm just putting it out there. Unless we wake up and sometimes speak truth to power and think of Ghana first and don't allow a Jonah to capsize the Ghana boat. That's the lesson NDC have to learn. But if they don't, Alhamdulillah, 2028 is around the corner.
Very well. Let me take a few messages and then I come to you, Victor. This one says, good evening from here in Sydney, Australia. Okay. Well, perhaps that's why you're greeting evening at this time. In fact, I don't know what kind of spirit entered Sami to do that. He's someone I trust so much. However, I think it's time for some sanction to be applied to sustain the hope in Muhammad's zero tolerance for corruption. Nelson in Sydney, Australia sent that. Good morning, Anna, and to your viewers. I want to ask this question. Can't he share Ghana cedis instead of USD? He counted such amount of money in his car. Then there's more at his home. You are a legend. Daniel Mampro B. Sami Jamfi's apology is a mere admission of wrongdoing. That alone warrants his dismissal or resignation from the office he is holding. Mind you, his utterances on the Cecilia Dapa issue, when she had not been even found guilty on any crime or wrongdoing, but in the possession of dollars, same as he has. I'm even sure he has more at home, and the OSP should even take it up, especially weeks after his office made millions of dollars. Samin Ketia of Cape Coast is a legend. He gave to the wrong person. Next time, he should learn to give to those who are really in need privately and not publicly. Prophet Anane Techi speaking there. Good morning, Anna. I'm enjoying the show. I think it's becoming clear that our politicians are not learning. The NDC and Victor should know that when you are in government, public perceptions count. Nobody forced the launch of code of conduct. Victor should know better by now that politics that the NPP did before is not the cause for justification. The so-called benevolent man should know who he is by now. I'm not surprised about this Sami Jamfi attitude. JDM is running a banana republic as we speak. He's out of the country and so is his vice. He left with no official letter, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is an allegation you are making. Please, if this is going to be read, then I would like to ask the communications man that in the country where he is, which money he spent there, and maybe he will come to understand that the currency he gave out is wrong, because if not for an average Ghanaian, no, I don't understand this.
No, his point is that if we spend CD,
yes,
and you are giving
dollars,
you are giving the wrong impression.
Yes,
because we even know what the dollar does to the CD when it's strong.
Yes,
so then you are sending the wrong perception.
It looks as though he wanted to do a conversion,
have confidence in the local currency. That's
the conversion. Yeah, he wanted to do a conversion, but the conversion
is trying about confidence issue in the local currency.
Exactly. I've heard somebody actually on a lighter note, not even on a lighter note, Rasmu Barak actually say that it could affect the gains the CD has made.
You see,
but Victor, you have the final take on this matter.
And when it comes to this some issue, I can tell you within even the NDC as a party, people are not happy, right? They are not happy because they feel that the optics is not good for their party. And like Elvis has said, yes, everybody knows that in politics, perceptions is very important. The optics is very important. You know, there was a time, I think earlier in 2000, when President Mills, may he so rest in peace, when he came, Mumuni, Alhaji Mumuni was made the
running mate.
No. He was made the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And there were some issues. Then the issues started coming up. The perception. I was discussing it with someone and I said that, look, you know what? So if there's any allegation, perception about any of your appointee, you just have to throw them away when you are not able to have some facts to say. If that is what happens, you see, in our part of the world, people can fabricate anything, say anything, but the time you go and see that there's no scintilla of evidence in that, right? That one may be legal. But as Elvis said, the perception alone, the optics alone. So I believe that within what the mood of the society, that was when he has to come in.
He's been summoned by the chief of staff. What do you envisage will happen?
Oh no, I think that chief of staff is the one who controls the ministers, the appointees and all. And I'm sure he's going to have a word with him for him to explain himself and also what the public expects. So that it is a balancing act, especially based on his being judged, based on what he said during the Cecilia Dapa. Like people are saying that why should you give dollars? If it was cedis, that would be. But you see, you don't throw the child away with the tap because you think the water is dirty, you throw him away. We are human beings, we err. Who hasn't committed a crime or committed anything? He should cast the first stone. And I'm sure that he himself, within him, he will know that the party is not in the mood to take anything from any appointee. And that is what has made him. So I think Ghanaians should forgive him. This is the first time he's made a mistake like that. And for me, the reason and the purpose that it was like you went and you were giving, flaunting, like the outdooring and funeral, that's the issue. Now the other issue, Ibrahim, they were talking about investigation, about the money here and there. I'm sure that when he meets the chief of staff today, those issues will come up so that it brings everything to a closure in that he himself has seen it that, look, yes, the optics are not good for me. I'm a leader. That's why I said that when you're a public figure or a public personality, what you do, your life is an open book. But you see, to resign, that whilst there is an allegation, if we compare here in the Western world, we are comparing oranges and apples. The reason why I say that is that here, because somebody thinks that this was done to me, it's a payback time. People manufacture allegations. They say a lot of things when they don't even know you. You know, I was in church sometime, my prophet, he said he stood somewhere. Somebody was talking about me. You know, he knows me very well. All the things he said. Then my prophet said, the gentleman you are talking about, do you know him? He's my son. Then the person, because the kind of things they were saying. So sometimes we need to do the balancing act. That is a very developed democracy. That anything, because they believe society, although you find some of the people, opponents, miscreants who want to bring you down, they think that they've gotten to some standard. That any little thing that is against you, you yourself must offer to resign. I think that is the standard things that we are looking for, and the public things that we need to inch up to that standard. I heard the integrity.
Ghana Integrity.
Yeah, Ghana Integrity. I've listened to all of them. And if you're a leader, listen, the blame lies with you, ultimate blame. And I think that this should teach us a painful lesson, especially people in government. What they do, car they drive, what they do, and what they say, what comes from, will be used to measure them. But I think on this occasion, this time, he has asked for apology, and society should forgive him. He's a young man who has just started. He's got into I don't think he's ever worked in any public institution before. He just got in there. And that is when he will now see that when it comes, experience counts, why people do. And that is why sometimes when you get to a point, there's protocol. Protocol tells you that you can do this, you cannot do this. Right. But we will take it for granted. And I'm sure that he won't take things for granted again.
Well, let's move on. Elvis, the ex-National Signals Bureau boss, he penned a message sort of explaining what the 49 million Ghana cedis is being accused of misappropriating or misapplying were used for. In there, it is alleged that some 960,000 Ghana cedis was used to facilitate the passage of the National Signals Bureau Act of 2020. And so, suggestively, Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee benefited off that money. The chairman of the committee now, James Agalga, in a statement has rejected and dismissed saying that there's no truth in this. My question to you is, national security matters. A committee of Parliament and such an accusation leveled against it, what image does it put out there of the committee and, of course, our national security apparatus?
I've not seen Agalga's statement, but I don't know what he said in the statement. It will be important to know what he said. Is he saying that during the passage of that bill, the national security never footed their expenditure? Is that what Agalga is saying? Or they footed the expenditure, but the impression that it's a bribe is what they are against? Because as I've said here last week, and I'll say it again, I know for a fact that a lot of public institutions sells bills to Parliament to be passed. Parliament's committees will tell you that, yes, they were ready to work on the bills. But Parliament actually does not have the money to foot the bills for them to go out there, sit in a hotel somewhere for a week, to work on it. Sometimes they are on vacation, they'll be called back and all. The Parliament, as an issue, will say they don't have the money. So the bill will wait till Parliament is able to finance those expenses before they pass it. But if you are an institution, then you need a bill as early as possible, and you want to foot those bills of going to pay for their hotels, feeding and everything, where they will go and sit down and actually work on the bill for you and pass it for you and pay their per diem, they will do work. That is a practice that happens in Parliament because the institution of Parliament is unable to foot those bills. So the institution that needs the bill to be passed could offer to foot the bills if the committee can work on their bills as quickly as possible as they want it. So, as I said, if Agalga is saying that, yes, the money was paid, but it is for this purpose that I explained, therefore it wasn't a bribe. Then, but if Agalga is saying no such money has been paid, then that will be another issue. I have known that this thing that I have explained, there are anti-corruption organizations who have argued that it is wrong. It is wrong for public institutions to be paying for work that parliamentarians are paid to do. And therefore, for that anti-corruption that no, that practice ought to cease. They have their own argument. But as I said, parliaments also have their own argument. And said that we are a committee, we work in Parliament. We are given a job to do. This is how we think we will be able to do the job. We presented our budget to Parliament to give us the money to go. Parliament doesn't have the money, so your bill will wait. Because in the first place, you are not the only one who wants bills to be passed. There are tons and tons and tons of bills institutions are brought up there. But you said, speed up my own. Don't do it within your time frame as Parliament.
And so we are in a position to fund the process.
To speed it up. Parliament doesn't have the resource to speed it up. You work based on our. But if you say you want to speed it up and they want to go and put us maybe royals into somewhere for a week so that will not be disturbed by anything, will sit and just work on your bill so that you get it early. these things are already there. So I don't know what Agaga is saying that practice doesn't exist. Because if that's what he's saying, that I can tell that it exists. Where institutions actually finance the passage of the bill. But if he's saying that there was no such payment, then now I will call for further investigation. But I know, and as a journalist, I know that institutions actually facilitate committees of parliament to get their bills passed early. This signal thing, as I said, see, the guy has worked in national security. For me, so he has actually sworn oath of office. But he felt that he is to be synced based on what is happening, and therefore he will not go down alone. So whatever has happened, he was. I have seen a letter that was displayed on one of the television stations, which I think was not right, indicating that our national security can even ask personnel to ask their wives and family members to open accounts in the name of private companies, and national security will use it to do operations. I've seen an official letter written by the late former, it's said to be written by the late former national security advisor Joshua Chairman. And that letter has made it in the public domain, and I'm like, if this is what we want to do and expose all these issues, it will bring a whole lot of questions, because I'm asking, what I know in other places is that even if you're a national security person, even your family is not supposed to know what you are involved into because of secrecy and other issues. So how come for us our national security will mandate
using the family
people
officers
to rather know that this is what national security is doing? That's how the person should go. And I started asking questions. So I think that the AG wants to do a job, but I think that the gentleman too will not want to go down like that if he believes that what has happened was done in the name of national security. But because security issues are opaque, you want to stick him, and he also want to talk and release documents and to the public, we may end up during the trial. But we must also consider the injury that will be causing to the state in terms of national security operations.
Ibrahim, 2 minutes.
Firstly, I don't think we should, let me phrase my communication well, get sidetracked on this issue, because there are other core issues there. The diversion of $7 million contract to the Israeli company, allegedly to a company, this is a supply contract to a company that he and his wife owned, allegedly. Am I right? Good. I just wanted to preface my submission on this. Because though those have been mentioned, okay, today this is the issue that we're talking about, the 960,000. Now, we know, and I say we know, it's in the public domain that even when members of parliament are being vetted, we know that money is spread around. Why do I say that? When members or nominees were being vetted, 2023 or thereabouts, you had from the NDC side anger that why have you guys betrayed us? You remember? Why have you betrayed us? It goes both ways. I'm not trying to focus. I'm just saying that this payments that Agaga is saying never happened. It shouldn't be a smoke and mirror. I'm talking in the case against Edu Boahini. Do you get me? Though we have to interrogate it along the other alleged charges, let us focus on the meat and not on the potatoes. So it's very, very important that while we look at the other core issues, we interrogate them with as much vociferousness. But of course, when Agaga says that it's never happened, other issues, other parliamentary services, I'm talking vetting members of parliament, then the public have become aware that these things go on both sides. Am I right? So when he dismissed it, I just took it with a pinch of salt. Like Elvis was saying, the perception will cure the quote-unquote nonsense. But let me quickly add this, and I'll be very brief so Victor can also come into this moment here. This is why I was saying in my early submission, Nana before, when we allow certain discrepancies, they're not misdemeanors, to go, this is generosity. I'm not trying to go back to the other issue. I'm just making a point so when Victor comes in. We need to look at every issue with a determined focus that regardless of partisan, we are going to prosecute it as fairly and as honestly as possible. So if you're innocent, you'll find you innocent. If you're guilty too, you'll find you guilty. Because you see what's happened here. You're being accused of ABC. Now suddenly you say, well, Charlie, it's not only me. The people who are the lawmakers are also being chopping. And Elvis said it. Their business is to make the laws.
Right.
So why do I have to pay you money to enact the law?
You want yours fast-tracked.
Why do you want it fast-tracked? Does Ghana belong to you? Let the process take place.
Very well.
Do you get me?
Very well.
So that's all I want to say on that issue.
Well, Victor, you are a lawyer. I am not. Does this giving us a breakdown of the expenditure of money you are alleged to have taken absolve you of the alleged crime?
No, not at all. For me, it was unfortunate for me to see that letter has been made. He wrote that letter, and I don't know if he's sought the advice from his lawyer. The veiled threat of using national security and its accounts and budgets, it does not absolve him. It even opens the Pandora box in that although national security has unaccountable interest and for operation, all national security accounts, his agency, the National
Signals
Bureau, used to be National Communication Bureau, are all under National Security Council, which is chaired by the president. So if you are even going to put money into other, then it has to be accounted. The Auditor General audits the accounts. If there's any information you think that it is classified, should not be released, the Speaker, when in Parliament, the Speaker must have to certify that this information. When you think that the Council itself, there's information that cannot be given, the Council itself must certify, and the other one is Supreme Court, when you think the information. What he has brought down will tell you that now Joshua Cheme, the former National Security, is the one who gave maybe approval to some of the things, but did he go through the process for approval to be given? Because that council is chaired by the president. Now, if you have all those ones, so it tells you that by national security, we think that is that wild goose or is that octopus animal, that nobody is not accountable to anybody. No. And you see, he took an oath.
Final point.
Yeah, he took an oath before he got in, oath of allegiance. Even once you are going out, you are living, you take an oath, and you break. If you break that oath, there's another punishment. So he's open, so he can even be charged that you have divulged national security issues. Now, what the money he has talked about, now Attorney General will have to go because at the time some of the money said was disbursed, even National Security Signal Bureau was not in existence. Right. So it is unfortunate for him. That should have been maybe his defense and strategy. But now if he decides that this is how he wants it to go, I think it's good news for all of us. I always say national security is not anything. It's things that they do. They don't want us to know to protect us.
Very well.
That is all.
We'll keep a keen eye on this matter. But thank you so much, gentlemen. This has been the News Review segment here on Breakfast Daily. I am Nanatu Boateng. Many thanks for your time. Stay with us. There's a lot more ahead on the show.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees emergency. Mommy, chop money emergency. Emergency. Catch it. I mean rent emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for all your money emergencies and chop life.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and get easy and quick access to your money, loans, and other banking needs. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hi, friend. Where are we going today?
Just use your imagination.
Go! My family is the only thing that matters to me right now.
This is the stuff that you dreamed about.
These guys are the best. GoTV's ready to take you from your hometown to roaring stadiums and even on international adventures. So let's go together, from home or on the go with GoTV Stream.
Sounds like a great idea.
GoTV. Love it.
Bag the habits of single-use plastics. Plastic bags have become a canker for the environment, getting worse anytime we shop with them, polluting our land and water. Switch to an eco-friendly bag today, and together we can remove millions of plastic waste from our environment. Refuse, reduce, reuse. This campaign is implemented by Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, EPA, the National Plastic Action Partnership and other private sector stakeholders, and supported by German Development Corporation.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked, welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
Boko has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yende, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed in us. You are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. If you based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
Gentlemen, it's still Breakfast Daily here, and my name is Chris Carter.
My name is Philip Nihlate. It's the start of the week, and certainly bring you nothing but the best on a Breakfast Daily. This is the second part of the show. Nana Tufo-Boateng is done with the side with the political aspect. Now we are now taking you to other aspects of the show, bringing the things sort of down for you in our communities, what is trending, among other things, sports, entertainment, and a lot for you. So you'd want to stay with us here from now to 11 a.m. and get a lot of excitement on the show.
Right, so talking of excitement, remember that you were part of the show too, so feel free to join in at any time by sending in your messages, your thoughts, your questions, and also to contribute to any part of the conversations that we'll be having, and also your heartfelt messages to your friends and your families. Send it via the WhatsApp number on the screen, and if you are not in Ghana, all you need to do is just send it via the number you are seeing right now. All you need to do is add +233, take off the 0 like you can see on the screen, and then the rest is what you can just add. And then do not forget to use the hashtag Breakfast Daily if you want to contribute via X, which was formerly Twitter, or on Facebook. Just put it right there. I know you're watching us on YouTube live right now, so the comment section is open for you to just put in all those thoughts, questions, comments, anything you just want to share right there. Put it right there, and then we'll get it to read it on the show.
Chris, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Although I came to work, it was still good. It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes.
So
mothers, we celebrated our mothers and all that.
Yeah.
I always say my mom is what's the name? World Bank for me. So yesterday, though I didn't visit her, but I'm planning to do that in the course of the yesterday. Over the weekend, I was at work. Yeah, I had to work and work.
You were at work yesterday?
Yeah,
I was actually at work yesterday too.
Yeah, you were doing a sister yesterday. Yeah. So I want to say belated Mother's Day wishes to all mothers in this world, or all women in this world. You are doing a good job. If you are not yet a mother, then prepare yourself for the journey ahead.
Yeah, especially to those who want to be mothers. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. The bonus mothers, the extra mothers, and the mothers that are hoping to be mothers. Happy Mother's Day to you. We're all in this together.
We are all in this together.
I hope you had a good one though, and I hope you did something great for your mom if you are watching. If not, it's not too late. You can still call her today. You can still reach out to her today and then just send a message and let her know that you're thinking of her.
Over the weekend, something was trending, and it's still in the trend still this morning. From the political point of view, the political actors are talking about it. When you go to the entertainment industry, though TGMA is reigning there, but still people are talking about the issue with Sammy Jemfi and Agrada. That is Patricia Odro, who was a self-styled evangelist, or she was a fetish priestess, but now it's a
then they're actually trending 1 and 2.
Exactly.
What names?
So what happened? I'm sure we all know.
Yeah, we all know.
Sammy Jemfi gave an amount of money believed to be dollars to Agrada, where Agrada approached him that, Honorable, can you help me with some fuel money? And Sammy Jemfi went into his vehicle to give some money. Well, the backlash compelled Sammy Jemfi to apologize. But let's bring you that video. Listen to what Agrada was saying in the video and what compelled Sammy Jemfi to give us the money.
Wow, interesting and
honorable. Yes.
And you know what I found interesting?
What do you find interesting?
The fact that she had to flaunt it. Oh, give me the dollars.
Yes, dollars. So someone say that is what has gotten Sammy Jemfi into the hot soup.
Yeah, and he actually tweeted. He tweeted his apology. So I'm just going to go through it. And that was 22 hours ago. So coming from yesterday though. Folks, I have taken notice of the wave of criticisms against my persons in the last 24 hours. To clarify, this was simply a kind gesture to a fellow human being in line with my daily and lifelong custom of lending a helping hand to people in need. I sincerely thought that I was doing this act of kindness in private and never imagined that some could find its way, this same could find its way into the public space. That is unfortunate and regrettable. I must say, I understand the uproar that this gesture has generated, particularly from comrades who are sincerely hurt by same. To all such comrades, I'm sincerely sorry in capital letters for this unfortunate act of indiscretion. I respect and appreciate your views. My profound appreciation goes to all those who have reached out to counsel and encourage me. I'm most grateful for your solidarity. Let me state, however, that my view of public office as a privilege to serve society, solve problems, and help others has not changed. I remain focused on the task entrusted to me by His Excellency the President for the development of our country. Stay blessed and have a blissful Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thank you, Sammy Jemfi.
So the update on this issue is that the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, has summoned Sammy James to explain his actions and maybe the rationale behind giving that allegedly, because I've not really seen the notes well in the video, that dollars given to Agrada, that is Mama Patricia Odro. But we'll be following up on this story keenly because others are arguing that, well, this is a sign that the president would have to take action because not long ago he launched the code of conduct for appointees. So this is the main reason why the president would have to take action. Others are also of the view that, well, Sammy James immediately came out to apologize for what has happened, and that should let it go. From Transparency International Ghana, they are also saying that maybe a word of caution can be given, or suspension can also be given, or form of sanctions can be given to Sammy James. But on Twitter, or X rather, comments coming through with tweets. With all due respect, the only communicator who made the NPP overhaul its communications team champion Sammy James. Another tweet also coming in says Sammy James was nearly killed. Oh, well, this is an allegation. I wouldn't want to really read this one. Another one who said, let's not make excuse for Sammy James. That is Chris Waddell. Let's not make excuses for Sammy James. We need the best behavior from our politicians. He messed up big time. Having dollars in the car alone is bad for your position, let alone gifting out when some grassroots party members self not chop. So, Chris, the anger is coming from the grassroots of the National Democratic Congress. Someone will say that with other political parties will say, oh, this one, there's no matter. Let's eat our house matter. Right. So this is coming from the grassroots who are saying that, well, we've not had our share of what the government is doing. They are now doling out dollars to.
And I think that's also why he also put out that apology, not just to the public, but also to his comrades of the party. So.
But you know, Agrada came on TikTok live, I think, over the weekend,
and then made a whole life about it, like
to defend the issue. And also yesterday at her church, she was on the say stage or pulpit, and was explaining, saying that even the government or Sammy James should have given her more than what she got yesterday. So Agrada is also training wise. Similar messages coming through. But what I just want to say is, the honeymoon for the National Democratic Congress
is gone.
Is gradually coming to an end.
It has ended.
It has ended.
Yeah.
Good. So any action taken by an appointee from this stage, which doesn't go well with Ghanaians, certainly Ghanaians will come after you. So maybe people will have to be very careful with how they go about their day-to-day activities as a government official, because like I said, the eyes are watching. Even if nobody's eye is watching, the lenses of our phone cameras are watching. So, like what has happened to Sammy James should be like a lesson to other appointees so that they wouldn't want to do same.
Right.
Again,
so moving forward, we have TGMA. Yeah, TGMA 25. So it was the Telcel Ghana Music Awards 2025 over the weekend. And, you know, a lot went down, from the fashion to the music to the performances and, of course, to the highest winner of the night.
What do you make of, I want this, what do you make of the fashion sense of most Ghanaians who went to the TGMA?
I think you can divide it in two categories, You can see people who are just there to play.
To play?
Yeah. When I mean to play, they just want to be in the trends.
Okay.
Yes, and people who are actually, people who actually, you know, stepped up a bit from what it used to be. So yeah, the fashion sense is growing, but we still have a group of people who, you know, just want to be in the trends too.
Some outfits, some outfits didn't really go down well for me. Some outfits didn't really go down well for me.
Of course, anyway. No, because you know why? The whole issue about the outfit thing was a bit was talked about because at the same time the AMVCA was happening in Nigeria.
Oh.
And so the AMVCA fashion was compared to the Met Gala.
Oh, okay.
You understand that level? So everybody was expecting, if this is happening, this should be happening here too. So it should be, it's like, it should trickle down together. But yeah, there were, some people tried, but there were people that just wanted to just
pass through.
Just pass
so
through.
A number of categories, and the top of all
was Artist of the Year.
King Promise.
King Promise. Congratulations, King Promise.
King Promise. We have a video for you. So the issue with King Promise's own, I knew that he was going to win.
Was that an issue?
Yes.
Why?
Because some people were saying that Paluta should have won.
Why?
Oh, but Paluta has done well in the
But King Promise has been doing well.
Review.
On that review too.
Okay, let's not argue about it.
See, everybody has their turn. That's what I feel.
So that's Promise's turn.
Yes, it's his turn. Okay. Everybody has their turn.
Okay.
You're in the same category. No, I mean, I love Paluta.
King Paluta.
I'm not gonna like you know trump his style and his music, but with King Promise in that category, I'm sorry, it had to go to King Promise.
It had to go to King Promise.
It's in line. It's time for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that is what is coming from Chris Carter. She's saying that King Promise should have gone for it, but we are certainly going to have Ghana Weekend on set today to have conversation on the TGMA and also the fashion sense, among other things. Let's bring you the video of the day. So what is happening there? No, is the cops in there? Oh, sometimes we can joke too much in this country. This is happening in the Ashanti region. What happened in the Ashanti region? And
no, probably no. Wait. Like I have a very imaginative mind, right? So in my head right now, I'm thinking the person must have written his will. Okay, if I die, I want to be buried like Superman. I want to be flying. You people have to make me fly before you put me on the ground. Maybe that's his last.
What is happening in there? Of late, I think I don't know whether we give much respect to the death. Because
no, you know, someone actually asked me. Someone actually called me from Nigeria. It's like, sorry, I don't know if it's culture. Someone was like, why do Ghanaians know their dead bodies?
Yes. People are having dead bodies sitting there pounding
exactly. I'm like, what do you mean? And the same. They put them in funny caskets. They stand them straight.
Yes.
They do things with them.
Dancing with them.
And I said, I think it's a cultural thing.
But it's actually dangerous because well, I'm not a health expert. I don't really know much about this. But what I know is there is a chemical in there used to preserve the body.
The cadaver,
called, is it formalin or something? And that chemical, I understand, is very dangerous.
Oh.
It's maybe one of these days we would have to enter into that space and try and get details of how we should treat the dead body.
You want to enter a morgue?
Oh, probably why not?
Okay.
Because one day we will definitely get there.
I'll be here reporting. I'll be here, and then you can be talking from the other side.
Because see, if we don't take care or we don't get things done right, people would now be doing things that ordinarily it's not accepted on how to handle a dead body.
Right.
Look at this one. I don't know whether it's a crane or something, and you have a corpse in there. I think a corpse in there in the coffin, and you are doing this. Maybe this is the work the person does.
Yeah. You know. Because
it looks
it
like
has to be the work.
Exactly. In recent times, if or it's way
And
back.
wait, and there's another one underneath the coughing. So it's like a Spider-Man thing going on right there. Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
So that is the video of the day. Let's bring you the picture of the day. Well, so that's it, video of the day, and I think we should have this conversation again on how to really handle.
It really pissed you off, huh?
Yes, because you see, the person is gone. It's a lifeless body.
Right.
You understand? And that would be the period you want to pay last respect to that lifeless body.
So no,
Before
maybe
the
it's a thing of culture. We need to also understand if it's a particular culture or tradition of a particular group of people. Do you understand? Probably we don't understand that.
Well, I do not understand this.
Exactly. So maybe we need
I
to dig
do not
into
understand
it.
this. So that is a video of the day, and that is what you have for from the Ashanti region concerning this dead body thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to cool, your heart, because I can see that you're a bit tense right now. To cool Phil's heart, guys, let's go for a music break by Bethel Revival Choir. I think it will help.
Yeah, it will help.
Home, in your office, wherever you find yourself, can you give God some dance and bless Him for the month of October? If you are grateful for the 11th month, can we praise God this morning? Give the Lord a dance, give the Lord a dance, give the Lord a dance, give the Lord. Onyami kesiye ye kamfuo, yeshiro na ye tuntumo. Onyami kesiye ye kamfuo, yeshiro na ye tuntumo. Onyami kesiye yeshiro. Onyami kesiye ye kamfuo, yeshiro. I freeze. Ye kamfubo, yeshirabo na ye tuntumo. Onyami kesiye, ye kamfubo, yeshirabo. Awuniti, hallelujah, hallelujah. Onya safu yo. Onyami kesiye, ye kamfubo, yeshirabo. Awuniti, hallelujah. Onyami kesiye ye kamfuo, yeshiro na ye tuntumo. I will lift up your name. I will lift up your name. Hey, great Jehovah, you are wonderful. I will lift up your name. Great Jehovah, you are wonderful. I will lift up your name. Hey, I will lift up your name. Somebody lift up his name. Great Jehovah. Hallelujah. I will lift up your name. Great Jehovah. You are wonderful. I will lift up your name. Great Jehovah. Great Jehovah. You are wonderful. I will lift up your name. Hey, great Jehovah. Great Jehovah. You are wonderful. I will lift up your name. Yeah, me see, I wanna, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. Oh, hey, give the Lord a dance. Give the Lord a dance. Everybody, 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 everybody. Me see, I wanna, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. Yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, oh. From January to November, wanna, yeah, oh, Missy, wanna, yeah, oh. see what nana why. Yeah, see what nana why. Yeah, see what nana why. What nana why. What nana wana. See what na wana wana. Everybody, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Do your dance. Do your dance. Can somebody shout hallelujah? Hey, everybody, do your dance. Give the Lord. 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 I say, this guy got another one model. 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 I say another one model. Another one model. Another one model. Another one model. See another one. Jehovah turned my life around. He turned my life around. Everybody say you make that way where there is no way. Jehovah has the final say. I said, who has your final say? Jehovah has the final say. Who has your final say? Jehovah has the final say. Hey, Jehovah turn. He's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt. Everybody say he makes a way where there is no way. Jehovah has the final say. I said Jehovah turn. He's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt, he's hurt. Everybody say he makes a way where there is no way. Jehovah has the final say. I said children of the Lord. Children of the Lord, children of the Lord, children of the Messiah, children of the Lord, will you shout hallelujah? Shout hallelujah to the Lord 5 times, everybody. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Children of the Lord, children of the Lord, children of the Lord, children of the Lord, will you shout, 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 shout? 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 Shout hallelujah to the Lord 7 times, everybody. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I said, vovole, 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 vovole. Hey, vovole, 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 vovole. balado, Masa Soli Mawa Kodechi, Della Yesu, Menye, Ewa Mezolo Devi, Ekona Bezanye Wanibe, Masa Soli Mawa Kodechi, Fofome, 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 Fofome. Soli Mawa Kodeji, hey, Masa Soli Mawa Kodeji, Bebe de la Yesu, hey, everybody say, Machio, Machio, so I see Mamu yeah, Machio, Tola Machio, so I see Mamu ah, Machio, Machio, so I see this is your moment to dance before you go. That's what I said. Ma will be that. I will all talk.
So that's Bethel Revival kicking us and making us hot for what is coming this morning. That was a good one there from them. But let's now move into our community. Something is happening, which is the abuse of substance. Well, we've said it a number of times on this show, but some communities are doing well to ensure that this trend is ended. And also, we can also see something happening within the space of health workers. We are going to bring you reports on these issues and have conversation on them. Let's first bring you this report from Sunyani in the Bono region, where Michael Sapom Infum filed a report on substance abuse and what community members are doing to ensure that the trend is stopped.
Bola Down, situated in Sunyani Zongo, in the Sunyani East municipality of the Bono region, has long been a hotspot for drug peddling and substance abuse. Despite several security raids over the years aimed at halting these activities, little progress has been made. Approximately 2 months ago, tensions escalated when a clash broke out between some Zongo youth and alleged drug peddlers. Intervention from community leaders was crucial in preventing potential casualties. To address the situation more sustainably, the Sunyani Municipal Assembly has officially transferred ownership of the Bola Down land to the Global Media Foundation and its partners. The area is set to be developed into a recreational and rehabilitation center. Municipal Chief Executive for Sunyani East, Vincent Ntueje, confirmed the initiative.
The Assembly has offered this land to the developers at no cost in order to help promote youth development, which is in line with the Assembly's quest to develop the area and to do away with social vices that have stigmatized the entire Zongo community. On behalf of the Sunyani Municipal Assembly, I send our heartfelt appreciation to the entire RCA consortium, that is the Global Media Foundation, Citizens Watch Ghana, and the Indigenous Women Empowerment Network for their collaborative spirit and consistency. To the Zongo community, thank you for your support and ownership of this transformational agenda.
Chief Executive Officer of the Global Media Foundation, Raphael Golabahenu Jr., has also spoken about the vision and goals of the project.
As you already are aware, Global Media Foundation and its partners, Indigenous Women Empowerment Network and Citizens Watch, is implementing a 3-year project known as Resilient City for Adolescent Project. And the purpose of the project is to empower adolescents within the Sunyani city politically, economically, and socially, so that they will be able to demand for their right, create their own job, and also take active part in decision making. So under the project, we have 4 pillars. So one of the pillars is to establish adolescent public park. The purpose of establishing the adolescent public park is to give a safe space for adolescents within the Sunyani city, so that they will be able to meet, socialize themselves, and also have the opportunity to learn certain things, and also have access to psychologists, counselors to counsel them on issues that is bothering them.
The assembly member for the Zongo electoral area, Abdul Ikad Isa, shared his thoughts on the expected impact of the development.
This place used to be a refuse dumping site, which I can say is over 80 years. So these people who deal in drugs took advantage of the place, and they've been spoiling the youth. When you come here, all kinds of illegal activities goes on here. We have those who sell the drug, those who come to consume, and those who go out to steal in the night and bring it back here to sell. So all these activities, the entire Zongo is saying that this is tarnishing the image of the community, and we want to say no to drug activities in Zongo.
Residents of Sunyani Zongo have also expressed their views on the new initiative.
We thank God if this project is coming on board. In fact, I am more than happy, and then I hope every parent who live around this area in this country will also be happy.
Fi said the cost were yan tamun, and says a BBC Baha, a bet me on my free hammer and so ya watoy. O be Baha Kora no suru. O Faka now by and tamun ha Korana, o Mubedruha, Niparasame Mabium, O suru, and tis a BBC Baha, ever my society hanum, ya watoy, and ya man so watom.
Project a barman, yaji papa say. Timon one benyam for so film. Yen you know Mudo we ni cocaine drugs no amuso mu ni adwuma ye no no gidi onyan mu say after project we no bibia be kama.
So that is the good work the residents of Bola Down are doing to ensure that substance abuse becomes a thing of the past in the area. It's a good initiative they are making. Not long ago, we saw a similar one in Okankwe Central and other parts of the Greater Accra region, where community members are like, we can't have people abusing substance in the communities. It's destroying the lives of the youth. It's destroying the life of the school-going child, and it's influencing the public. So if that they are able to do actions or take actions on these things is going to help. But let's go down and have detailed conversation with the authorities that be in the area. That is Bola Down in the Sunyani Metropolitan or Municipality. We are having on the line the Assembly Member for Sunyani Zongo, Isa Abdul Ikad. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you are doing well.
Very well, sir.
Tell us details of the substance abuse that you say the youth is entering or has ventured into. What exactly is it? Which substances do they abuse in the area?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me on the show, and a very good morning also to your cherished viewers. I'm deeply concerned about the rising trend of drug abuse among the youth, especially Sunyani Zongo. There used to be a place, a refuse dumping site, popularly known as Bola Down in Sunyani Zongo. And you get to this place, it's a whole lot of activities, illicit drug activities. We have those who sell the drugs, those who come there to consume, and we even have those who go out to steal in the night and bring it back to the site to sell. So this is posing a lot of danger in the community, and it's punishing the image of the community. So as a youth or community leaders, we can't sit there for some of these things to be going on. So we needed to take action to bring this situation under control.
But what are some of the substances being abused? Because what we know of tramadol, we know of the red, the 225 and all that. Is that what you've identified that they are abusing, or say weed, or that's marijuana or cocaine or something? Can you share with us details of what they are really abusing in the area?
From what I've seen, you go there, you see marijuana is there, the tramadol, the red, all kinds of substance abuse is there. And we have some of them who also buy cough syrup and mix them with other substances. A whole lot.
Wow. So for how long has this situation stayed, and now that you're looking for, or you found a solution to the problem?
The border has been there for over 80 years. It used to be a refuse dumping site. So somewhere last year, the government of Ghana and the World Bank, under the project, Secondary City Project, they decided to do away with the refuse dump. They took everything off, constructed a storm drain. So we were thinking that once the refuse is no longer there, these people will also move away. But their number kept on increasing. That's why the youth of Sunyani Zongo and the authorities decided to take action. So we met the Global Media Foundation, who came to our aid in collaboration with the Sunyani Municipal Assembly to bring us this project.
Right. So before this initiative, what steps had been taken at the local level to actually address this menace?
At the local level, in my capacity as the assembly member, I mobilized the youth under the umbrella name Concerned Youth of Sunyani Zongo. We met with our opinion leaders in the community. We met the regional chief imam. We met the council of Zongo chiefs. So we wrote a petition to the police regional commander. We copied the municipal commander. We copied Sunyani Traditional Council and all authorities in Sunyani. When you come to Sunyani, the distance from the police headquarters to the place we are talking about is just about 10 minutes walking distance. Likewise, the municipal. So we don't understand why this situation keeps on going there for a very longer time, and our security agencies are not taking both steps to deal with this criminal.
Right. So when you spoke to the security agencies, what was their response?
The security agencies have been doing their part, but when you keep on, with the same approach to a problem, and it doesn't change, that means you need to change your approach. They come there, they will ransack the place, make some arrests, by which time you see those who are arrested going about freely again. Meaning the police will have to up their game and then change their approach.
Right. Now, how are you actually involving the community, especially the youth and maybe the former addicts, if there have any been, if there are any, in shaping this place up, especially for the fact that you are about to, get a rehab or a center? So how are you involving the community in this?
The issue of drug abuse is a complex issue that requires a collective approach. So the community leaders, we have started educating our people, sensitizing them on the dangers of drug abuse, and also looking at opportunities, because some of them end up there because of lack of opportunities, especially the school dropouts. So with the introduction of the National Apprenticeship Program, even at the launch or at the handing over ceremony of the site to Global Media Foundation, I made mention of such opportunities. If you are there and you are unemployed, the National Apprenticeship Program is there for you. It's going to assist you to enroll so that you do away with all these negative attitudes.
All right. So now that you've also agreed with Global Media Foundation to, say, build a recreational and rehab center, now, how is the Assembly going to play a role in maintaining this place?
Well, in the Memorandum of Understanding between Global Media Foundation and the Assembly, once the project is completed, it's going to be handed over to the Assembly to manage it and then maintain it, in collaboration with Global Media and then the Office of the Regional Chief Imam.
Right.
You made mention of school dropouts. I want to find out from you, how has this trend affected education in the Bola Down Zongo area? And also, when it comes to social vices, what is the level, if you can share with us?
Well, the location of Bola Down is in the center of Sunyani. So the school aging groups, I think the road leading to the various schools, the children pass there and they see them. And we know how curious children are. Okay, so whatever they see, they tend to copy. That is why we are even so serious about this issue, that they should do away with that place. Okay, and the border down is such that it doesn't affect only the Zongo community. You go there, you'll find a whole lot of people coming from the other neighboring communities. But because the border down is all placed over 80 years, the Zongo people are those who host them. Okay, so it's not only about Zongo problem, but the entire Sunyani, and I can even say it's a national problem.
Well, after you are done getting the rehab center, the recreational facility, and all that, you still need some form of protection. Are you liaising with the police? Like you said, you should change the approach. Are you liaising with the police to ensure that the youth do not return to that area to abuse substance again?
Yes, sure. We discussed that with the municipal police commander, and the last time we met the regional minister, he also promised that he's going to make sure that we get a police post after the project, so that the children who will be coming there to learn, children who will be coming there to play will also be secured from any danger.
Right. And also, still on the rehab center, I hope you know, being in charge of the place does not mean that you will, you know, say, I'm hiring people to probably work with, you know, the drug addicts, but it's about hiring the right people as in the right medical field to actually handle this issue, and not just people that don't have jobs.
Yes, this center is going to serve as a playing ground for the children, opportunity for them to learn. We want to empower them, especially the adolescents. We want to empower them economically, socially, and then politically. Global Media Foundation has an adolescent parliament in Sunyani here, where every electoral area is represented by a member of parliament. Currently, they hold their sittings in hotels and other conferences. So once this project is complete, the adolescent parliament in Sunyani is going to be moved to the place. And then I can assure you that there are professionals who are going to manage the situation.
Right.
No personal interest or any other thing.
Right. Okay.
Well, beautiful. So that is the assembly member for Sunyani Zongo. Many thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you.
He is Issa Abdo, and they are trying to find measures to ensure that substance abuse in Sunyani Bola down is stopped. We will be joined shortly by the Global Media Foundation, who is pushing or getting or moving into this space to ensure that the youth in the area gets the best of things. But Chris, I think this is a good move, because if we then become watchdogs of our communities and we are able to find ways to get things done properly, it's going to help. An example is what is coming, because the authorities, like I keep saying, the government can't always enter into communities, conduct swoops, arrest the youth, and nothing becomes of it at the end of the day. But with this, if you are able to get them something to do, it helps.
Yeah. And also, I also like the fact, in fact, I was relieved from, when he actually said that he's going to hire professionals, not just people that don't have jobs, but it's important to hire professionals, because the issue of drug abuse is a health issue, and health issues are actually very meticulous issues. So you need the right people, the right professionals that will handle this, and not just anybody. That's why I had to ask, are you sure it's not about people that don't have jobs, that you just say, okay, because you don't have a job, we just...
Do not continue the abuse of substance.
All right, so thank you very much for the opportunity. So as you rightly said, as an organization, we have a responsibility. And one of our core areas is to enhance the capacity of young people, not only to give them the skills and the knowledge, but how to prepare them for future leadership in terms of political leadership, economic leadership, cultural leadership, and then social leadership. So all our attention is on young people. How do we prepare them for the future challenge ahead of them? And one of the issues that we identify within our operational areas is one, substance abuse among these young people. And I have been in Sunyani for almost 23 years now. And that Bola Down has been a breeding place for criminals. So when it comes to substance abuse, you have young people who are there every day, not only one, not only two young people, but you see a chunk of young people gathering there every morning to evening, 24/7, doing a whole lot of things there. You have thieves. So in Sunyani, when thieves come to your house, when they take your things, the only place that they will tell you that go to the Bola Down, go and look for your items there. They will be there. So it has been a bigger challenge to the whole community, especially the Zongo community. So as an organization, we decided how do we turn this Bola Down into more profitable and a place where young people can not only go there to engage in substance abuse, but they will go there and have something practicable that will build their confidence, that will build their skills, that will enhance their knowledge in whatever they want to do. So we developed a proposal and we send it to Botna Foundation, which we term it Resilient City for Adolescents. How do we build a resilient and safest cities for young people so that they can live in and contribute their quota to the socio-economic development of the cities? And then good news was that Botna Foundation approved the project and we decided to develop the Bola site. So what we did was that we had an agreement, MOU with the Sunyani Municipal Assembly, asking them to evacuate the Bola so that we can turn the Bola into adolescent social center where we have a lot of things there, playing field. We are going to build a digital hub there. We are going to have adolescent clinic there. The essence is that when we have the adolescent clinic, when we have the digital hub, and when we have the playing field, so young people can meet their socialize, build their self-confidence, and they'll also be learning ICT stuff. Then after learning the ICT stuff, there are a whole lot of challenges that these young people go through. So in terms of substance abuse, how do we get psychologists, counselors, health professionals to take them to the challenges that they are going through? So we are going to have adolescent clinic within the park. So when they come there to socialize, they come there to play games, they come there to do whatever they want to do, they also have the opportunity to engage with professionals to take them through the life challenges that they are going through.
Raphael, hold on. Have you been able to identify which people in the area are abusing the substance that you'll be able to roll them or bring them into this rehab center?
Yes, we have been able to identify them, which most of them are young people within the catchment area. In fact, that place is a whole hub for these young people. So it's not only young people within the Sunyani city. We have some young people also coming from outside the city to join them within that place. So what even we are trying to do now is to have engagement, personal engagement with these victims one-on-one, have discussions with them, and then engage them to try to bring them in of whatever we are doing so that they can also take advantage, not only the center, because we have also skills training for these young people so that we'll be able to convince them to also take part in our skills training program that we have. So yes, we have been able to identify them and we are doing everything possible to bring them on board.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We are grateful and wish you all the best in your quest to ensure that the youth in the area desist from abusing substance. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you too very much.
That is Raphael Godlove Ahenu, who is the founder and chief executive officer of the Global Media Foundation, trying to change the narrative in the Sunyani Bola Down area, where it's said that some youth in the area abuses substance. They want to change the situation in the area. Chris, like I keep saying, this is a good initiative, and if the little support they can get from the government is going to help them, because the government cannot do the entire thing. We've seen people abusing substances and all that, but if you are able to get the youth move away from this drug abuse, the better.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not also just going to be very easy
at all.
You know, just building this facility, but you would need people to attend the facility. So that means it's going to take a lot of work to talk to these people, to even get them understand that this will help you.
And it's not easy to break free
That's
from
what
drug.
I'm saying. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work, but I wish them luck.
Yeah.
I wish them luck, and I feel like everything should be taken one step at a time, especially for the fact that it has so many things going on in one facility. Like, I feel like there's so many things going on in one facility, so I just wish them luck, because it's definitely not going to be easy. But we still have more issues on the use of drugs, and this time it's
the pethidine.
The issue of pethidine and the misuse of pethidine, and this powerful painkiller is actually meant to be controlled, especially for medical use. But it seems like it's increasingly being misused, and it's raising red flags.
And what we are learning is it's being abused by health workers.
Yes, so it's being being abused by health workers. And yeah, we actually have a report by Manuel Ayama, and let's check it out, and when we come back we will speak on it.
In the fast-paced environment of operating rooms, intensive care units, hospital wards and emergency departments, they work with grace and resolve, committed to preserving life. But beneath this noble duty lies a troubling and often hidden epidemic: substance misuse among healthcare workers.
So with the nurse, I believe with the work that they do, they get exposed to the effects of these medicines, because one of the side effects is euphoria. It gives you this good feeling, or feeling like you are on top of the world. And so I believe that euphoria is what pushes them to want to try that medication.
The substance at the center of this crisis is pethidine, an opioid painkiller sometimes abused by medical professionals for its intoxicating effects. Dr. Angela Hatchful, a doctor of pharmacy, has seen the issue unfold firsthand. Over the years, she has observed troubling patterns while overseeing medication distribution and usage.
They find ways and means of coming to the pharmacy to come and collect it. But it was after a couple of tries and tracking that we got to know that no, they are taking the medicines not for patients but for their own use. And once we could actually tell that the gentleman had just injected himself, you could see some blood on his trouser, and then he was behaving abnormally while still at the ward. With the other one too, you could tell that at some points he could not find the quantity of pethidine that he had in stock was reduced without any tangible explanation to it. So with investigations and a little monitoring here and there, we got to know that he was the reason behind the stockouts of pethidine.
What's led us here? Is pethidine too accessible?
Once you use it several times, you become addicted. And when it becomes part of you, it will get to a time, once the drug is given to you, it's not going to serve its purpose again. And so you have to lead a hard route. Some can write the prescription and then they go for it, go and buy it themselves. But in the facility, no, they can't have access to it because it's under lock and key.
Charles Kwachi Osei, a certified addiction counselor at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, supports many addicted health workers weekly. He describes the growing problem as deeply concerning.
It's alarming. Are you getting the point? It's something that is alarming, but it's just that we don't talk about it. When you come to the hospitals, I mean, this is the issue and what happens is that it destroys their finances, their money, their reputation. Some of them have to stop work.
Osei also confirms that The issue extends beyond the Greater Accra region, affecting professionals nationwide.
No, medical is in all the
So you get other people from other
we
facilities
have clients who come from maybe Konfanochi, maybe, I mean, like, where again, from other hospitals like 37, like Rage, who come to access treatment here. Yeah.
In Accra.
Yeah, in Accra. Yeah. So it's everywhere. In all the hospitals, not only one hospital. The addiction to opioids or pethidine is in all the hospitals that you find in Ghana.
The Ghana Medical Association acknowledges the escalating trend and says steps are already underway to address the problem.
There have been quite a lot of cases that our colleagues in the facilities, be it as managers or as frontline workers, seeing other staff and other colleagues have reported to us regarding people abusing various medications, pethidine, the opioids in general, pethidine, morphine, and other medications that are commonly abused. And some also are into alcohol and other non-medications, as you want to have it. And this is a serious cause for worry.
GMA General Secretary Dr. Richard Salome reviewed plans for a comprehensive study to quantify the scope of the issue and develop targeted interventions.
The mental health support team of the GMA is also conducting a series of research to quantify the problem and begin to look at the details of the problem. What are some of the specific causes? And then what are some of the issues that are driving people into this and where the challenges are, so that we can quantify the issues and then tailor the approaches.
There should be security when it comes to access to these medicines. So pharmacists should know well to keep these medicines under lock and key so that it's not easily accessible to these people who can or are standing a risk of abusing these medicines at the end of the day.
All right, so there you have it, and it's actually a bit worrying. And Philip, the truth is, I actually understand the feeling sometimes, because when I gave birth, it was via cesarean, and the pain was so much they always had to inject something into the drips. Yeah, but I don't know if it.
So you needed something to calm you down.
Oh my God! And whenever that thing enters, I'm like, oh, I'm gone.
You are cool.
I'm gone.
Wow.
Yeah, so at some point, I started asking for it. Please, 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 the pain is back. Please put it back. Please put it back. Please,
Wow.
Because I just wanted to be knocked off.
Well, health workers are humans.
Yeah.
And like the doctors made mention of, they come in there to purchase it, maybe for a patient, but not knowing they are using it themselves.
Yeah.
There may be issues that are going in there. And all
Yeah.
that,
But yeah.
let's speak to the resource person.
Yeah,
and see
so we have Dr. Annie Gaze, who is an addictive behavior specialist, and we are going to be talking about this. Hi, Doc.
Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Philip. How are you both?
We are fine, thank you. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm really enjoying the show.
All right.
Really.
So let's start with the basics. What exactly is pethidine, and what is it medically used for?
Okay. First of all, forgive me, but I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, especially we forget the mothers who actually have lost their babies.
Yeah.
So like that can be very difficult. So my love goes out to them.
Thank you.
Everywhere in Ghana and around the world. Right. Okay. So when we talk about pethidine, what it is, I think some of the doctors and specialists have said already, it's an opioid, and it's actually a sedative, a depressant. So what it does is that when taken, it's a pain relief. So once upon a time, many years ago, it was widely used in Australia for pain. But gradually they realized that the addictive component is so strong that all you have to do is prescribe it to a patient. They take it the first time, second time, and they get addicted to it because it does something to the brain. The chemicals, the happy chemicals in the brain, it excites it and it makes you feel very relaxed. Very like there's some people say that it gives that floating effect. It feels like all your pains, your stress, everything is gone away. When the more you take it, the more you get addictive to it and you want more. We call something developing tolerance level. So maybe you were given one dose before, you end up wanting 15, then 20, because you won't get the same effect as you keep taking it. It's a bit like what they talked about, the alcohol and other drugs or substances.
Right.
Just you take one glass or one dose, then the next you want 15, then you want 20, then it's got lots of side effects.
Right.
So they decided across the world, lots of places don't use it that much. So we have to look at, is it really worth using that or looking at other stuff? But I'm sure you'll go into that. So it's for pain relief. And I like what Chris said about, again, it was used a lot in the maternity units, labor wards for labor pain. But again, they are looking at what about morphine? What about other things that would also help instead of that?
Right.
To the extent that I don't know whether you've heard about, I love hypnotherapy because I'm a hypnotherapist. So use alternative therapies as well to help pain instead of just looking at just dishing out pethidine or other strong medications as if they are smarties, they are sweets that we give them out because they are very, very addictive. It's a bit like the street drug heroin, that effect that people streets. That is it. But because this is prescribed, sometimes the stigma is not as bad as somebody going on the street and taking heroin. So that is what is going on.
Right. So what makes it dangerous when it's not used properly?
What makes it dangerous is because nobody is monitoring the dosage that you're taking. So there's the likelihood of an overdose. The other thing is, are you taking it for the purpose that you have to take it for? We know that it's a pain relief, a strong pain relief. But then because people get addicted to it, it's no longer for the purpose that is meant for. So they take it just to cope. I know about these healthcare professionals. A few years ago, I was in Ghana. I worked in a hospital and loads of doctors came to there, were admitted, and we were sort of treating them for that because we had to give them substitute for that just to wean them off, detox them off, and provide rehab and nurses as well. And so, sorry, please, can you repeat what you just said? I think I've taken myself off course.
No, I said what actually makes it dangerous when it's not used properly?
Exactly. And so, like I said, you can easily overdose. Also, if you have lung problems, or you have liver problems or any other healthcare conditions, and you take them, they are very strong. So that can lead to, and also sometimes it makes people feel suicidal. The drowsiness, if you're a healthcare professional and you're taking this, how are you going to monitor or provide proper care for the people under your care?
Right.
Or even if you're not a healthcare professional, if you're somebody out there as well, working wherever, imagine if the person drives to work. You're not the only one at risk. You're driving the car. There are other people on the road. So that can also, because it slows down your reaction time and everything. It makes you feel slow, makes you feel drowsy, makes you want to go to sleep. You feel like you're on a different planet. So your perception of things is not the same as somebody who is not on. So within a hospital environment, are you giving the right dose, or are you even monitoring what is going on around you? What if somebody is in crisis? Are you alert enough to be able to provide the necessary medical attention that they need?
Right.
So these are some of lots of, and it causes breathing problems. Let's say you've already got high blood pressure or diabetes or whatever, and taking this on top of that. So the health components of it, as well as other underlying factors, as well as it's expensive. So it's costing the health service a lot. And if the individual is buying it off the streets as well, that means that that's what their salary is going into, just like any other addiction.
Wow.
It affects family, it affects children. So it's got really, I'll say, it's very dangerous.
Right.
If somebody's addicted to it.
Right.
So how can you check the addictiveness, or an individual who is addicted to this particular drug? How can it be kept? How can it be checked? How can we get one person to move away from this addictive drug?
Yeah, I like what one of the doctors said it, that about, she used the word and she said, I actually wrote it down. It says we track. It's about tracking. It's about, okay, how many patients, because you have a rough idea, we have our data. So how many patients do we actually prescribe pethidine to in a week, in a month? If it's 40 that you need, you just bring 40 into the hospital, into the pharmacy. What are the administrators doing about it? So when they come, lock and key. And also, I think where other parts of the world where I have worked is one person, because of the addictive components and because it's a controlled drug, one person can't just go and take it and administer it. at least 2 people, it needs to be signed. So if we are expecting, let's say, 40 milligrams or whatever, 40 injections to be in there, we need to know that they all went out or 10 went out, is left with 30 for the following month. So March, we'd have to administer 40, but we didn't. We did only 10. So the 30 will go to next month plus 10. So it needs to be monitored carefully. Also, some of the things that I think we are not doing in our country now in Ghana is to look at, drug testing in our hospitals. Because around the world it's done. I've worked in many places where random drug tests. So we come to work and some of our staff, we randomly, as soon as you get to the gate, we take you to a room and we drug test. And that put the fear in people that they could lose their jobs. Because I've seen some doctors in Ghana who've lost their license, who've been struck off because of that, and other countries as well. So I think that, measures like that, I won't call it drastic measures, because we are saving lives by doing some of these things that we do drug tests. And also more education. Sometimes as you see, we are in a position where I am in Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian and everything, but power is something that we are afraid of. Lots of people, let's say if we can see clearly that, let's say, I'm just saying, a pharmacist or a medical doctor or somebody in position is doing something, we can see clearly that this is wrong. But we are scared. We are afraid to say this is wrong or to even go and report because people are scared of losing their job. I'm a junior staff. How dare me? He's a doctor, they know what they're doing. But it's about calling things out and saying this is wrong and it shouldn't go on. So they go into the cupboard and they can see that yesterday it was 10, now it's 5. What is going on here? So these are some of the things. But what we don't realize is that by keeping quiet, we are not saving ourselves, we are not saving the patients, and we are not also saving the person who is addicted to it. Because once addiction sets in, it's very difficult for the person going through it to do anything about it, because all they are thinking about is their next fix. How do I get this? How do I get it? How do I get it? So they don't care. Dignity is at stake. Everything is at stake. As long as they get their fix, that is what will keep them going. So it's the people around them. And in this case, if it's in our health service, then it's not even their family anymore. I remember a doctor that was brought to my service some time ago, a few years ago. It was actually the doctor's best friend who said, enough is enough. And they were working in the same hospital, says, we can't have this going on. My friend will die. And apart from that, the patients, I see these things happening and I can't take it anymore, and reported it. So this report was to save the friend and also to save the hospital and to save the patients. And then we talked about how about reducing how much or how many comes into the hospital. And it did help. And then this person was saved in order for the person to go back to work. So if you feel that you're around, an environment where it's not good for you, or your level of addiction, or you have an addictive behavior, maybe you just have to also look at, am I in the right field? Or maybe I need to start doing a back office job more than, or I don't prescribe at all. Right. So I'm surprised when I heard someone say that, they prescribe it for themselves and they go and pick it up. Who is allowing that to happen? Nobody should have access to just prescribe just like that. It should be monitored that how many are coming into the hospital and how many are going out. And also, pethidine, as we can see, is very toxic. So it shouldn't be something that should be, there's so many other alternatives. So that's what we have to look at. And then we have ways, I don't know whether if I show you, if somebody is addicted to it or overdose on it, we've called something the naloxone program. Maybe another time I'll talk about it properly. But this is where it's a nasal thing you give to the person if they are. So I give to my clients in Ghana now. You come to me and you're going through that, it's in their pocket. So if there's an overdose or they're going through a crisis, anybody near them can just get it sprayed into their nose. We have the injection one as well. Then you just inject it. So that can be free also in the country. In the UK, that's what we were using. So I got some, you can get the supply and then the government can get the supply. So there are things that we can do. And like I always say, for me, I'm just saying it now, Channel 1 is my favorite TV station and city, so I'd say I'm planning that. I like the way you're championing drug abuse. I'm going to partner with you, and I think that's an education that we need to go out and do it more about.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Annie. It was really nice talking to you, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dr. Annie Gazy, who's an addictive behavior specialist. And I really think, I mean, she went deep into, you know, the problems and the solutions. And I think if anyone out there, especially if you're a health practitioner and you're watching us right now and you feel like you have a problem with petidine addiction, or you think you're getting addicted, I think you should reach out. You should reach out to get help.
And maybe the reason why it's going to be prevalent among health workers because they are able to have easy access to the drug. But
my problem is how, like, what even led you to say, let me taste it?
Oh, of course, because if you are selling food, you don't want to taste
because
the food.
when morphine was used on me, I don't think all the nurses know how morphine felt.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
maybe they have seen someone experience before. Maybe the person has shared his or her experience with the health workers. For that reason, maybe they also want to come in. But like it's been stated, if you think you are in an environment that is not safe for you, you'd want to move out of that environment. Why not move out immediately so that the addiction you could get free from it?
But it's actually very problematic because these are people that are supposed to take care of us.
But they're humans.
Hey, our life is in the hands of God
but
only
humans.
At this point.
you can't really force them. They are humans. They also have some sort of shortcomings and all that. But you are still watching Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. We're back with more.
Imagine a place where technology and compassion meet. A sanctuary of health, precision, and trust. At Olive Health Diagnostics and Imaging, we redefine excellence. From advanced ultrasound, X-ray, and CT scan services to accurate laboratory, cardiology, and dentistry, our mission is clear: to provide the care you deserve with accuracy, precision, and speed. Your trusted healthcare partner, Olive Health Diagnostics, always ready whenever you need us. Olive Health Diagnostics and Imaging, redefining excellence in medical diagnostics.
Poverty makes you do what you otherwise would not do. Wealth makes you live the way you wish to live. But revenge cancels the lines between poverty and riches.
It's either you're saying something progressive, or I'll just tell your wife that I'm carrying your child.
Where is my father? Now that he's coming closer to the community, Mama, people forget your own plans. So I go figure my own.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety should not be too far-reaching. It should be as easy as ABC. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
We were held at gunpoint in our own home, and they got away with it.
We didn't have Response 1 back then. That was the most terrifying experience of our lives.
But after that, we subscribed to Response 1 to ensure that never happens again. The last time the hoodlums tried, we had installed Response 1 monitored alarm system. Their response team arrived, followed by the police, to ensure we are safe.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1, stay connected, stay protected.
All right, welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily, and right now we are going to get into some conversations. Remember that earlier we talked about the trends, and we also talked about the TGMA 25. So we have the guys from Ghana Weekend about to tell us more about what happened, because they enjoyed the whole time there.
They were there and they saw it Philly.
Fifi, how are you?
I'm fine.
You're all welcome.
I am. The team from Ghana Weekend, we are feeling like prophets this morning because out of the 19 predictions we made, 12 played, and so we will start a ministry soon. Everyone should anticipate.
Really?
Yeah.
Preach.
So with the 12 that you said 19.
Yeah. And then
you got 12.
Yeah.
Take us through.
Well, Kim Promise, of course, the biggest one artist of the year, as predicted.
Actually, Echo predicted that. Echo. Last time
Echo was here rooting for Stonebwoy.
No. In the office, he actually predicted.
It's all right.
Now let me put
don't do that.
Relax.
I was there.
Let me put the clarity out there. I kept saying, and I even said it when we were standing on the out there, and then people were like, "Oh, that's actually a very profound point." I said, so far from the past 4 years that I've followed TGMA, the trends very well. The closest artist who comes close to the artist of the year ends up picking up the following year.
Yeah.
And I said, when you look at Dinah and Kiddy, Dinah picked it. Kiddy was the runner-up. The following year, Kiddy picked it.
Yeah.
The year Kiddy picked it, Black Sheriff was his closest contender. Black Sheriff picked it the following year. The year Black Sheriff picked it, I forgot who was the closest contender because I think that was the year Stonebwoy returned onto the scheme. The following year, Stonebwoy, that was last year, Stonebwoy and Kim Promise, and Stonebwoy picked it. So I was saying, following that trend, Kim Promise is the likely candidate to pick it.
So I never said. So this one was Kim Promise and who? Paluta?
No, Kim Promise and Stonebwoy.
Yes,
and Paluta was the third.
So does it look like Stonebwoy may pick it next?
Looks like good. So Paluta. It is two. It looks like either Stonebwoy or Paluta. If Paluta is able to keep up a good, the consistency. The consistency.
But if Black Sheriff comes, the album was great.
That's also another one. So I'm not saying
it will be hard.
Good. So it's a trend. Yeah. And when you look at the trend, this is how it looks. So I never rooted for Stonebwoy this year. I've never rooted for Stonebwoy, and she'll bear me witness. I said it in the office.
Anyway,
We love Stonebwoy though.
Yeah, we love Stonebwoy. I mean, life is noisy. Yes, noisy.
We
all love Stonebwoy. New artist of the year, B-Strap, KOTM. Best rap performance of the year, hip life artist of the year, Kweku Smoke. Kim Paluta with High Life song of the High Life song of the year. And then Kofi Kinata, as usual, songwriter of the year. Among a lot other predictions that we just got it right because we are in the prophecy business right now here at Ghana Weekend. Let's look at the organization this year. I think it was better compared to last year. Oh, yeah, of course. The setup, the red carpet area, how interviews were conducted, how it was hosted. No, the red carpet was more composed this year. Okay, so talking about setup and how the organization was done, I think one thing that we need to commend the organizers for is they were able to make going into the auditorium very seamless. Okay. Now, how did they do this? You go and park at State House, you get your band, everything, you get verified and all of that, and then you just walk down in. Now, this is where I have a problem with it. In as much as it was good, security was just thrown out of the window. Now, tell me how in 2019 we had one of the biggest things that happened in Ghana with our music awards, and we are going into the subsequent years and we still don't have metal scanners at any of the entrances. None of the entrance had a scanner to scan people before you enter. So everybody could just walk in and walk out. So if you had a knife, if you had any sharp object, if you had a gun, nobody was checking it. And that's something that we need to pay close attention to. Because we've seen it before. So I commend them for making it very seamless because this time around there was no stampede at where we entered. And they made it very easy. There were enough sitting area for people to sit. But I feel like the security was just compromised. But yes, it was good. The setup was just beautiful. And special shout outs to Tony Tometi. I think I saw him there. I mean, this guy, when it comes to stage and everything, he's the guy to go to. So it was very, very good. For those who watched at home, I don't know how they saw it.
So what about the issue of timing?
That's my problem. I'm looking forward to a time where TGMAs will not exceed 4 hours. Because it was close to 7 hours. It will never happen. People got there as early as 7 had to sit all the way to after 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Before the artist of the year was announced.
At 3 a.m.
It could be hectic sometimes.
But sometimes I think the event is not just about coming there to announce. The event is also part of the
there's performances,
the performances, the showcasing or showing off your outfit and all that.
But can you just start? It's too long.
No. But
and then other concerts,
but guys,
in other places to start early.
But guys, we can't do TGMAs from the way we are doing it now. We can't do this award ceremony in 4 hours. And I'll tell you why.
Maybe some of the events should be taken up.
And I'll tell you why. So a few years ago, they used to break it apart into 2 nights.
Yes.
That's where you'll be able to do the main event for 4 hours.
Exactly.
So they had 2 nights where they had the industry awards and the main awards. So some of the people picked up their awards on Friday evening, or some of them even on Saturday evening, and some picked up on Saturday.
I think it's Friday evening and Saturday.
So if you do it that way, you can be able to do the main event for 4 hours. Now, another thing, because they're doing everything on one night, setting up the stage for performances was what also took a lot of time. Because now a performance like Kiddy's performance, if I'm not exaggerating, it took like 7 to 10 minutes to set up.
So when it was being set up, what was happening?
So then they were trying to give some of their awards, and then now the hosts were now trying to crack jokes, and they got a comedian on there.
There were 2 hosts. That's
the main host,
and then 2 co-hosts on the side.
Now they got a comedian, and it was very.
But I think this year's organization was way better than last year's. It was more organized. There were no technical hitches like last year. Performances were well delivered. Artists brought their A game. Most artists that were criticized last year, their outfit, their performance, this year they brought their A game. To me, I think this year's was beautiful compared to last year's. But the surprise of the night was when Dinah Hamilton picked up International Collaboration of the Year. I mean, that was least expected. But then again, these are people from churches. Churches, they believe in themselves. They are like a family. And so, for instance, if Dinah has been nominated, you are going to have each and every one of them rooting for Dinah. What the prediction was, Stonebwoy's Jiggle and Wine with Spice.
But Jesus took over.
Jesus took over.
But you see, one thing that people need to understand, and we also need to explain that to them, is not all the awards are heavy on public votes. Some of them are technical. So for this particular International Collaboration of the Year, your fans would have voted for you massively, but then the board and the academy, when they look at it technically, you are not winning.
Why?
So this is one of the awards.
So is it about impact?
Yes. So they are looking at so they are looking at like radio airplay. They are looking at the production itself. They are looking at the collaboration, how these 2 people were able to blend, and how they were able to drive the production and the sales and all of that. So we need to also understand that. I was not really shocked for some of the categories. I was not shocked about the people that picked it.
I was really shocked because most times we look down on the voting aspect of it. Your celebrity or your artist might be popular, but if you are not really voting for him, it's not just about the talking.
No, but
sometimes some of these fan base, they are loud on there, so you tend to think that it's an easy win for you. Because trust me, most people did not expect Dinah Hamilton to pick it up.
I get it.
Yeah, but they are actually the ones.
It was Dinah Hamilton and
which other person?
There was Stonebwoy, Ekelebe, Odumodu Black.
Yeah, so Dinah Hamilton and
Mercy Chinwo from Nigeria.
But that was a big track.
No. That's what I'm saying, that yes, the fans would vote. So it could be that Stonebwoy had like 1 million votes. Dinah had like, say, 800 votes, or 800,000 votes. But it is weighted. So the academy and the board are having a bigger percentage than the voting. So you might get a lot, but when they weight it, it will become very small, especially when you're comparing it to the academy. So some of the things, something like female vocalist of the year. A lot of people are like, who is this goodwill lady?
Esther.
But it's the technicalities of it. A lot of people were expecting AEC to pick up male vocalist of the year, and Jometo picked it. So they were like, but where did he come from? But it's also technical. So these are things that people need to understand, so that you don't look like, they are sharing their awards. They are not. they are trying to look at the technicalities of some of these categories as well. Popular Song of the Year, of course, it is by public vote. So that one, Aseda picked it, and a lot of people were not really shocked.
It was expected.
It was expected. Really. Do you get? So also people have put their ears on the ground and they're listening to like, oh, which song is the most, because this song was popular, it has to pick it. Sometimes it's also the technicalities that are involved, because I had a few conversations with some people after the event outside, and then you realize that, oh, okay, I now understand this, I now understand that. So yeah,
and then
that was it as well.
We tend to shy away from the voting aspect. No matter how popular the song is, if you don't support your artist by voting, there's the tendency that he or she wouldn't win. Because one thing I've noticed with the gospel fraternity is that they are not really loud. They don't really have loud fan bases and all of that, but they vote a lot. Just a church session can get every one of them to vote for their artist.
But they have like sister churches. Dinah attends Pentecost.
And Pentecost have so many branches in Ghana.
So you expect that.
It's about the groundswell, really. Aside the technicalities and all of that, you just need to make sure you are voting for your artist, because you can't be rooting for your artist because you think his or her song is that popular and deserves to win a particular award when you've not really voted for him or her or campaigned for him or her. And so that's one thing that the gospel fraternity beats the secular fraternity with. Because Joe Metals gospel artist of the year was least expected.
No, but
male vocalist of the year was least expected.
That's what I'm telling you that. Anyway,
I just want people to understand that the work is on the ground.
No, but even if you vote, what I also do to
I get you. But I'm also saying that the voting plays a role in it.
No, we are not saying it does.
Good. Yeah. And so these fan bases shouldn't just be all about the talk, hyping their artists. Make sure you are voting as well. That is what I'm saying.
I mean, if you vote at the technicalities out with them.
Let's look at the performances as well. Which performance made it for you on the night?
I've not been able to pick a performance for the night.
I'll choose Stonebwoy, obviously. I mean, look, you need to experience Stonebwoy perform live before you leave Earth. I'm telling you.
But you see, and this is where I'll be like, it was. I've seen better performances than this, so I was not really wowed. And then also in the final phase of his performance, it got a bit tacky because then we didn't know like what was going on.
Especially when other people
when people were drumming and then came in, they had something. I don't know if they were supposed to present to him or he was supposed to wear it. So he just took it and put it on himself and then he walked out of the stage. So it was a bit.
That was I think it was to tell a story. You are done performing. Messiah, you are done performing. So your people bring you your cloth.
Wow.
It's wrapped around you and then you leave the stage.
But he didn't he was walking away and then he came back and took it and put it on.
It still tells a story anyway.
Anyway, that's what I'm saying. I do not know. It
so who's was lit for you? Kimpalutas?
No. I mean Kimpaluta, no. Familia, okay. Daughters of Glorious Jesus, okay.
Fantastic.
No, the reason I'm saying that is because I have seen
better performances.
Yeah, better performances. So it was just okay. I think I also I love Kiddy's performance. Let me say that. I love Kiddy's performance. It was very good. And also I love King Promise's performance this year. The reason why I love King Promise's performance this year is because last year he had a very underwhelming performance. So this year was very, very good. So that way I was wowed. But for Stonebwoy, every year it's good. So that is like, I've enjoyed it, sir. I
also love the fact that Yao Sapon was honored.
The Lifetime Achievement Award. He deserves it.
I saw that too.
I was around 5 years when I started hearing Yao Sapon.
Wow.
And each time I listen to his song, I just get goosebumps. He's that guy. He and Mama Tiwa. So it was only right that he was honored this time around. And he's not been well for a while now, right?
I mean, they are saying that he's well, so we'll keep it as that.
From the appreciation video that was you could tell that he's well.
But they are saying that he's well.
Anyway,
so let's just go.
At least it's good he was honored. But of the fashion sense, I don't know what you make of it. As you were there and you saw all that. What do you make of the fashion sense?
Well, my issue with the male celebrities is that, well, let me not say celebrities. Most of them want to dress like females. I do not know. You know, there are some appearances that, whether you like it or not, it's feminine. You can't tell me because it's fashion, you can wear anything, anyhow.
So an example?
I don't want to mention names.
No, but you cannot just...
No, you can't wrap...
No, you
can't wrap... You can't wrap a skirt... Yeah, you can't wrap a skirt a feminine skirt around your waist and tell me it's fashion, and so it's fine.
How would you know it's a feminine skirt and a male skirt?
That's what I'm saying. Ordinarily, from our conventions and all of that, there are some outfits, these styles belong to females, or these outfits are feminine.
No, you don't say they belong to females, because in fashion, fashion is fluid sometimes.
Okay, so can I wear what you are wearing right now?
Someone can wear it and make it look nice.
No, but what I'm saying is, so what about the Scottish guys that wear skirts?
Exactly.
That's different. That's why I said feminine skirt.
No.
This wasn't, I know it's a Scottish skirt.
Yeah.
That's different.
But that's what I'm saying.
Made in
So
Ghana was in that, I
No,
think.
but what I'm
No,
saying
but
is,
see, what I'm saying is that let's not normalize some of these things.
No, we are not normalizing
No, but who are you to
No.
say to normalize or not?
You were a
In
male,
fashion.
dress masculine.
What does dressing masculine?
Even if you tweak it a bit, don't appear too close to females.
No, but
Because
they are
you
feminine
raise a
men.
whole lot of concerns about you, and it doesn't end there. They actually behave like females. They
So are
talk
you
like
telling them to not
females.
stop like? So now you're telling them how to act.
I'm not telling them how to act. I'm saying you want to compete with the likes of Met Gala, the likes of AM. No, relax,
but if you talk about Met Gala,
relax.
they are feminine men
Let me
in
land.
Met Gala.
Let me land. You want to compete with some of these guys, right? You need to bring your A game. It would have been different if the feminine outfit you were repping in was flawless. We understand it's fashion, but in a situation where it's not up there to that standard, you're only trying to do what females do. And on top of that,
so you think that should be checked? Because
it should
probably
be checked.
if somebody is wearing a female attire or supposedly, it's to make the news, and that is why we are sitting here talking about it. But so people will do it just to ensure that at least they are also catching the groove out there when they come into
No, because if you talk about if we are now stating that okay, these people look feminine, that's why the fashion was not great. I saw a lot of people that were wearing male fashion, but it still wasn't great.
It's not about it
But you
being
see,
great.
one of the things I'll say is, for me, the fashion sense this year it was okay, because I was a bit disappointed because some of them were very, very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Now you're saying that the red carpet is sponsored by a particular brand,
Right.
so we are expecting a lot of the people that will show up on the red carpet repping the brand.
Oh,
but then pretty much like zero were repping the brand, so it was all over the place. And then also some of them, it's good to be sustainable, it's good to be futuristic, but some of the sustainability attempts were just man, it was
but shout out to the people that really put effort. Like some of the women were
but
very
I love the
all the
female
women,
outfits this year. I mean,
really?
they really
All of
brought their
them?
A
I
game.
saw
The
one on
likes
social
of
media and all that.
the likes
Whoa.
of Fela McCaffrey, PAC Esther. I mean,
Okay.
I loved their outfit.
the gowns
I loved their outfit.
they were really on point.
Yeah.
Most of them
I
that
love
were in
their
gowns, the ball gowns were really on point.
Love
They
their
did very
outfits
well
this
as
year.
well. And I feel like one thing that we also need to address is the way people take advantage of some of these things to expose themselves indecently. I was really disappointed in some of the things that were even allowed on our screens. Do you understand? I mean, the person shows up there, but to now give the person like the platform for it to be on our screens are things that we need to check.
Now the only private parts we have now would be our intestines.
But we need to really check some of these things. We are pushing it a bit too far, and then we'll get to a point where we'll eventually lose control of it. So
I think
we need
we've
to
already
check it.
lost control of it already.
Yeah, so we need to, call some of these things into check. But it was a very good
Mind
event.
you, kids are watching. People who look up to some of these celebrities are watching.
Yeah.
So what really are we communicating to some of these people?
Yeah, but some of the people were looking very, very good. I want to
Yes.
say, I want to commend this lady. I mean, she was my lady of the night. Lydia Forsen. She was looking.
Yeah.
I mean, her hair, from her hair all the way to like what she was wearing, was very, very beautiful as well. Some of the guys also came up with like very good suits. I mean, special shout outs to Huchi as well, all the way from Ashaiman, giving us some really good made in Ghana blazers as well. So that was very good as well. I want to also commend them for repping made in Ghana more on the red carpet. Some of the people were like, oh, this is for my own closet. But I mean, a lot of them were in suits and the suits were made in Ghana. So That was very good as well.
Then
And then also Smart Casual was also repping very well. Kim Promises fit.
Yeah,
I loved it.
beautiful. I love the intersectorial support as well from actors, politicians, you know, all these people. I think this year's the number was quite massive. The intersectorial support.
Yeah,
you had politicians, sports people, movie actors and actresses being there to support the TGMs. This year's was just beautiful. It was way better than last.
But so in
one
terms,
thing, okay, go ahead.
Performance, the costume, the stage wise, and everything in terms of percentage, what will you put it? Everything.
Okay. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I'll give them a good 70.
A good 70.
Yeah, a good 70.
They need 30 more to capture.
Yeah, they need 30 more. Looking at
I'll
the
give them
security.
65. Though I'm saying it was better. I just didn't like how media people were handled. You know, it was almost as though the franchise belonged to certain groups of people.
Okay.
And so there are restrictions to some media houses. But mind you, we all want to project Ghana music out there. We keep saying we are building an industry. And so if you are only giving a select few the chance to do this, I don't think we can get to where we want to get to. Let's give, in as much as we want to control some of these things, let's be fair in giving access to some of these media houses to cover such events, because that is how we can market the industry we so want to grow.
Right, so let's see what comes up next year. 70, 65.
65.
Yeah, I mean, it was good.
It was good.
It was good. I wouldn't take anything away from them. It was good. Just that, you know, we want to do so much, but we have very little, because we want to replicate what they do at the BETs, at the Grammys, but you know, for them, they have like 3 stages at least.
Yeah.
So
bigger
once
venues.
this is going on, they can be setting up here.
Before we go on a break quickly, don't you think that we can create a stage or a whole venue for this, borrowing from what Richard Niamakwe did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, we can.
We actually showed. We showed.
And not be glued, or we are always supposed to go to the
AICC
conference for this. We should try and see how
we can.
It's not even about the audience, it's about the stage setup.
Yeah.
No, there's just one stage that is
we can get like 4 or 5
for performances, hosting. There's a DJ set on there. It makes it too clumsy sometimes.
We can get like 3 stages if we really want to invest in this. So maybe corporate Ghana will want to invest.
But I mean, it's like you said, it's investment. It's the money. It's the mullah. So if you have the money, we'll be able to do it. But
the event is ticketed, right? So they should be able
to.
So
that's a call thing for us from the chat.
Yes.
And also,
but we're having more conversations on the chat this weekend.
On this. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing us your opinions on the TGMA that happened over the weekend. This is still Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. We'll be back with more.
How are you?
How are you? You carry your art
everywhere, literally. And this is Whitney Chinyonye Ernest. Yes. And she is an artist.
Making one of a good spaghetti bolognese. So that's spaghetti and a tomato sauce to go with it. We're gonna mix it up so that it's like a spaghetti jollof.
Hey. For us, old is gold. And but you guys, like, you move with the times. We meet and then we vibe and then we're friends. And if it didn't work out, we move on. No hashing.
Yeah.
What kind of life is
this? So is it that the meat is the last thing to go in?
What's cooking? Let me stir it.
No, that's not the kind. That's not the kind of work.
Please, I'm stirring. Hey, what's your name?
Fafa.
Oh, Fafa.
Yeah.
Right. And what's your name?
Whitney.
Whitney.
Very nice.
Whitney.
You're right to say Whitney.
Whitney Houston.
What's Cooking is brought to you by Tasty Tom and Kivo Pepper.
Looking for the latest buzz in Ghana's entertainment world? Welcome to Ghana Weekend, your ultimate destination for all things creativity and entertainment.
Stay in the loop with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and then insider stories from your favorite creatives and stars. From music, movies, fashion and art, lifestyle and culture, Ghana Weekend brings it all together. Get a daily dose of entertainment, discover new talent, and never miss out on the creativity that defines our vibrant culture.
Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle Ghana Weekend, on X Ghana Weekend, on TikTok Ghana Weekend, at Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube for the latest in entertainment, travel, and everything Ghana. Don't miss out. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, where entertainment meets creativity. Visit GhanaWeekend.com now.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked. Welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
Boko has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yendi, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed
in us.
You are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. If you based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
We are grateful you stay with us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. It's now time for us to talk sports. Yao Minta, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Charlie, what is the world of sports? Yesterday I was in town.
Yeah.
Then
yeah, you were in town.
Out here.
Were you chasing some of the dollars? I just needed to know because you deal with a lot of politicians, so I just needed to know if you were chasing some of the dollars.
I was working.
Yeah,
so I wasn't chasing that.
Yeah, you were chasing the story behind the dollars.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Oh, I believe you. I know you.
Then I had goal.
Yeah.
I checked on my phone. I think it was Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool was leading Arsenal.
Yeah. They took a 2 goal. Yeah, 2 goals.
So how come Liverpool slept and all of a sudden Arsenal had to draw?
Well, here's the thing. First things first, we need to put everything in context. Look, Liverpool, they've won the title.
Okay.
They won the title with multiple games to play. And so they are beyond in a comfortable lead, as we normally say. So for them, they're just playing the game because of academic purposes. It's just vibes. At this point, it's just vibes. And so, yeah, they took a 2-goal lead, but with us now, they needed something of a response because of, they failing to mount a credible title challenge. They exiting the Champions League, which represented the only chance for them to win a trophy this season. I think they just needed to make their fans proud.
Okay.
And so in the second half, Liverpool were just cruising along, and Arsenal stepped up a little bit, and they managed to take advantage of a good start, and that's what set them up in that second half for them to be able to cancel out that Liverpool lead. But unfortunately, one of the players who got the goals for Arsenal. That's Mikel Merino. He got the second goal. He got red carded later on in the game, and that was a bit of a shame for Arsenal because, per the way they were playing, they could have gone on to get the third goal and win the match. But he got himself booked for the second time in the game, and so he got a red card. He got dismissed from the game, and he will miss Arsenal's next game, which is the penultimate game in Arsenal's campaign, because there are just 2 games left. And so that's a little bit of a downer for Mikel Merino. But for Arsenal, it was a solid outing for them. I expected Liverpool to win based on the fact that they play in front of the Anfield faithful. I didn't see them dropping any points. I saw them winning this game. But Arsenal, like you said, they put up a good fight. They ended up getting a draw. So that pretty much steals their spot in the Champions League for next season. And so if you miss out on qualifying to or winning any trophies, at least, you managed to back that qualification to the Champions League. So they can start planning for next season. The players they need to sell, they need to let go. The players they need to buy. And speaking of buying, reports coming in is that they've agreed a deal in principle to sign Real Sociedad's midfielder Zubimendi. You know that Jorginho, who is now with Arsenal, he's set to leave once the season ends, and so you need a replacement. And so they've already started making moves, and as you well know, they are in contract negotiations with Thomas Partey to stay beyond this season. And so I think Arsenal, with this draw and they sealing their place in the Champions League, now they can really start making moves for next season, which will be a very pivotal campaign for Mikel Arteta, the head coach. If he does not win anything next season, he's definitely a goner.
Wow. But there were other games as well.
There were other games as well. We are talking about the EPL, but I can't just walk away from this segment without talking about the Clásico. What happened in Spain? It's the biggest one of the biggest derbies in the world. Real Madrid and Barcelona, and it ended in a 4-3. 4-3 win for Barcelona, and it was a brilliant game.
That guy,
Lamine Yamal. He's not a guy. He's a boy because he's not even 18 years. That boy. He's a boy. That Barca boy, Lamine Yamal. That guy is something. That guy is something. That boy, that kid, he is something. Again, he scored for Barcelona, and for Real Madrid, this season has been one that they just got shellacked by Barcelona. Bitter rivals, but this season it just wasn't it for Real Madrid, because they played each other 4 times. In all 4 games, they lost
to
Barcelona. Yes, in all 4 games that they've played against each other, they lost to Barcelona. And so it's clear that Barcelona have Real Madrid's number, and there was nothing that they could do about it. I mean, in 4 games, you can see 16 goals. That means 4 per game on an average. And so that Barcelona attack is just way too hot to handle, just way too much to contain. Despite the fact that they give away goals, but they know that and trust that they can score in bunches to make up for it. And so that was on the Spanish La Liga. I mean, I couldn't do this segment without touching on the El Clásico. Now, that was on Sunday, but on Saturday in the English Premier League, Manchester City, they surprised everyone, and they got your people very worried, the investors, because playing against Southampton, everyone thought that this is an easy win for Manchester City, a woof kind of game, but surprisingly they ended up drawing goalless with Southampton, and that was a very shocking result. And I think that was the biggest
but if I'm not saying that if you are bringing the investors in and you are betting it with Southampton, you're certainly going to get some more money.
You definitely get some more money. You definitely get, because everyone thought they are going to get spanked. They are going to get spanked, and to see them get a goalless draw against Manchester City, that was something. That was a big deal. And what that draw meant for Southampton, and maybe it's because they were fighting for something, despite the fact that they've been relegated. What that draw against Man City meant was that Southampton have now recorded 12 points, and what that means is that they are no longer joined or tied with Derby County as the worst performing club in the Premier League history. Now, Derby County, they played in the Premier League a couple of decades ago, and they got relegated after picking up just 11 points the whole season. And Southampton were in danger of matching that record because before playing against Man City, they had 11 points. And by picking up this draw, now they have 12 points. So, yes, they've moved away from potentially being tagged with that terrible record. And so, yes, in a small way, congratulations to Southampton. You've done well for your fans. And then later in the day, we had AFC Bournemouth take on Aston Villa. Aston Villa ended up beating AFC Bournemouth by 1-0. And yes, we brought you all of those games live on City 97.3 FM. That was on Saturday. Then on Sunday, all the big games were there. Like you mentioned, Liverpool and Arsenal played. Yeah. But in the lead up to that game, we had Chelsea play against Newcastle. Okay. And Chelsea lost by 2-0. To Newcastle. Yes, Newcastle took a very early lead. And Chelsea were building themselves back into the game. And Nicolas Jackson, the Senegalese international, he swung his elbow and he caught the chin of Sven Botman, a Newcastle player, defender to be specific, and he got red carded. And with that, it hurt Chelsea's chances of getting back into the game and potentially getting the win.
You have a match today?
No matches today.
Chris's team is with
Man City. They drew.
Oh, yeah. Chris, join us. Man City.
And so, Chelsea fans were pissed with Nicolas Jackson because they believe he had their chances of getting that win. And because of this loss, it has put Chelsea's chances of qualifying to the Champions League next season in danger. No. He swung his elbow.
Oh, okay.
He swung his elbow and he caught the chin of a defender. And so that was a very bad point or low point for Nicolas Jackson. Then Manchester United, they kept on losing. They lost to Mohamed Kudus's West Ham United. Kudus got an assist on the first goal for West Ham. So Man United, they are fully focused now. They are fully focused on that Europa League final because nothing is going right in the English Premier League. And funny stats I have for you before I leave. Man United and Tottenham Hotspur will play in the Europa League final.
Okay.
Chelsea will play in the Conference League final against Real Betis. All four teams, actually. All three teams. They lost by 2-0 over this weekend. So Chelsea lost 2-0 to Newcastle. Man United lost 2-0 to West Ham. And Tottenham Hotspur, they lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. So, that's the interesting bit
and
that happened this past weekend.
On the 20th, today is having a match with Egypt, right?
Oh, yes. How could I forget? Ghana Black Satellites, they're under 20. We are taking on Egypt. In the quarterfinal at 3 p.m. And so what this means is that a win qualifies us to the semi-finals. And that automatically means that Ghana will qualify to the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. That will take place in Chile later this year. And also congratulations to the Ghana 4x100 men's relay team.
I saw that yesterday.
They secured qualification to the World Championship. That will take place in Tokyo in September. So big congratulations to you guys, especially Ibrahim Husseini, because we were trailing and he ended up running so fast, eating up that track, and we ended up finishing in second place to pick up one of the qualification spots. So congrats to you guys.
Congrats to you guys, and that is coming from Yao Minta of the Sports Dex. He brought us what is trending or what is happening in the world of sports. This is how we end today's show on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. My name is Philip Nilate.
And my name is Chris Carter. See you tomorrow on a brand new episode right here at 7 a.m.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline